Stand by. Key no longer is valid. What?
What
the
happened?
fuck?
What happened? It's doing something.
Shit.
No swearing. You could be live.
Oh, we're live.
Kind of live. Wow.
All right, let's do this. Oh, yeah, this is Rockin' and Racing.
I'm Joe Walla.
Hey, today's brought to you by Stith Printing. And also today we have Nitro Mafia. Nitro Mafia Racing. Get your Nitro Mafia Racing apparel. NitroMafiaRacing.com. Also, we have Bucky Austin Racing. Oh, yeah.
Don't forget Bucky's repair shops across the northeast.
Also, Medi Cotton Candy. Dash. It's Medi-Puff.com. Also, we're going to have the NHRA Phil report today.
Right here on the world's #1 racing show.
The dinner's been brought to you by Marciano's Chicago-style deli with Chef Tamati. Check them out at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays just before Rockin' and Racing.
Thank you guys for the food today, too.
Awesome. It was amazing.
And I was saying we were the #1 radio station, or the #1 Rockin' and Racing station on Radio Buzz, that is.
There he is, Joe Walla.
What's up, folks? What's up? Can you feel the power? Feel the power. Feel the power.
All right, let's see if are we actually live on this thing?
No, we're still a few seconds behind.
Oh yeah, we're live.
We're still a few seconds behind. What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, we're a little behind on the time, but that's all right.
Well, you know, that's the way it is.
So, comments will not be featured tonight on the screen. However, we are going to be broadcasting live on Radio Buzz, right there on the homepage.
Right, but you'll see some of the comments off of Facebook, correct, or no?
Some of the comments?
You'll see some of them, won't they be posting up? Or I'll be looking at them all.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be looking at them. Yeah, they're going to be posted. They're just not going to be up on the screen.
Well, tell 2 friends and so on down the road there. I see there's only 12 of you guys already logged in. 13, 14. We're already kicking them up. Tell your friends to do it. We got a good show tonight. It's going to be a blast. I got Joe Morrison calling in first from the East Coast, talking about the Right to Breathe and his Right to Breathe triple. I say AAA because I just like AAA fuel now. His AA fuel altered. We'll be talking about that. I could be wrong. It could be an alcohol blown, but this is why I'm the host. I don't know.
You don't know? I don't know.
I don't know. Forget about it, right?
Forget about it.
And don't forget about N-Tech Oil, folks. N-Tech Oil is part of the guys over at Nitro Mafia stuff there. So I just wanted to say, hey, I want to do a little shout-out to my buddy John Campy because he's been supporting us all this time, and he's doing other things. But, John, thank you so much for Rusty's Cool Guitars for a while because I'm going to keep posting them up. And DJ Safety, if you didn't see the DJ Safety sign that I'm blocking right there. Right there, you know, that guy's blocking, so we'll see what's happening. Hopefully everybody's calling in. I didn't get a confirmation from everybody, so I got Bill Donner's going to come on in a little bit, talk about our show heading up to Spokane first on the 4th of July up there at the Spokane Raceway, and we're going to be off into on the 7th. We're going to be playing out in Seattle, too. The Kings are on the road, so it's going to be a kick. We're getting ready to bug out. We're going to hit the road on Sunday and try to get up there Tuesday and get the rock and roll going. And I hear there's an Elvis impersonator that's supposed to be at Seattle, so that should be great. I didn't have to wear out my Elvis suit this time, so that'll be pretty interesting. I got Bucky Austin. Hopefully he'll be calling in tonight. I got Heidi. She's on the road. She's on her way to Frank Hawley's drag racing schools, from what I understand. So she's going to be probably a top fuel pilot pretty soon, and hopefully that'll be a nice, successful run and keep the Austin name rolling because we got Drew right behind him. Is that me beeping or is that you beeping? It's probably me.
That's me. We're just keying everything up. Looks like we're at Stream Health is at moderate on Radio Buzz.
So that's all right.
But we're also on YouTube. You can see us on the YouTube channel.
That's true.
And Facebook, as well as if all else fails, You can just go
Call home.
Just go to the Listen to Radio Buzz, and you can listen to the radio broadcast, the audio only.
Phone home.
Yeah, so if you got real super low bandwidth. So look at this. We got all kinds of people tuning in. Do you see all these comments? We got Bob, Brian, Don, John.
I just kind of flipped it up real quick, so I'm going to do this.
Deborah, our super fan.
The Coker tire look. Let me kind of click on this thing and see what's happening. There we go. Now I can actually see. Hi, Deb. Hey, Don. What's happening? What's happening, Bill? Hello to my lady Sandra, sitting at home.
Nice.
So I'm just saying howdy to everybody. You know,
a little family support there. That's cool.
Yeah, got to get the love as I can, as they say, right? I lost my picture somewhere. I don't know what I did. You know me. Every time I touch this phone, I always do something wrong. So I'll have to reload. Reload.
Yeah, there you go. Reload.
It ain't there. I don't know if I lost it. There we are. I get uglier every time I look at this stuff. You know, what am I going to do? I'm going to put it on an angle right now. So there you go. I can see myself better. Say howdy to everybody. If you see me picking this thing up, it's not because if I'm looking down, it's not because I'm trying to look directly into the camera of any kind. So I'm trying to get some comments and see what's happening. And I was saying we got Bobby Cottrell going to come in a little bit later, too. The champ will be on. He'll be talking about what's going to happen up there in Spokane and Seattle with Bucky and Heidi, Bill Donner. And I'm going to have Darr from the Nitro reports. And I know most of those guys were on last night, so we're just pumping the hell out of this road trip we're on. And it should be a fun. So don't forget, I'm going to tell you now so you can hear it first, and I'll say it at the end of the night. Next week, 4th of July, we will not be in live. We'll be out wandering around the circus somewhere.
Nice.
You know I'll be in Spokane and Seattle, so that's where I'll be. I'll be doing some live feeds, and we'll run them next week, or we'll run them when Chris might be up on fireworks for all we know next week.
I might do something. I don't know. I'd like to get it. You know what I'd really like to do is get a band to come in here and perform on 4th of July. That would be fun.
Yeah, and trash the studio. That's what they do.
You know, do what we do.
I'd probably take one of these monitors home. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
But we're looking forward to getting everything rolling with everybody. I think Joe Morrison should be calling in a few seconds while I'm sitting here just doing, what am I doing now?
Let's get some comments rolling, some engagements online. Guys, tell us how the sound is and how everything's coming out.
Hey, Dusty, what's happening? I see Damian Cottrell's on, too.
Nice.
I'm just seeing anybody. Kevin Robinson, what's happening, my brother?
Oh, I just covered your face up there.
It's all right. You can cover my face. It's probably better. Hi, Vicky, what's happening? Saying hello to everybody. Yeah, that's best. It looks best when you cover my face. Let me walk over to this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Where you from? That's great.
Yeah, we didn't plan that one out too well, did we?
No, you didn't, but that's okay. I'll slide over to the right or the left or wherever. I don't know which camera you got me looking at. So you got two cameras. You got this one here and you got this one over here.
Right.
So one over there, one over here.
Over there and over here.
What's happening.
So
I know today I'm kind of just fumbling around. It's like I thought I had a plan of action, but you know me, I never really do. I come in and do this. And
there we go.
There we go.
See, now you can look at the picture.
Hey, I can see clearly now.
Thank you for watching, everyone.
Again.
Please like, comment, and share this video.
Exactly. So it should be pretty fun.
Is anyone else having problems with their Mac? Their Apple crap?
That's I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah.
I got trouble with my own Mac and stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, Vicky, just in case you want to. Hey, we got a caller.
All right, saved by the bell.
I was going to show Vicky my stuff, but.
Oh, he was going to show Vicky stuff. That's the way to answer the phone. You're
hey,
live.
Hi, you're live on Radio Buzz. Who we got?
Maybe I'm calling a little early.
Who's
Joe
this?
Morrison. How's it going, brother?
No, you're never too early, brother. You were helping me from floundering around another 10 minutes.
Right? You saved us.
See, I usually come in with a plan on action, and we just had a big bowl of pasta here, so we did it in your honor because it's East Coast, you know?
There you go. That was my dinner tonight, too. Big old bowl of pasta. Now it's, a little bit of rye whiskey on the rocks.
I would probably join you, but I got to go make sure my internals are still standing up by tomorrow, so no whiskey tonight.
He's got to have tubes stuck up into him.
Don't say that yet, man. I don't want to have that shit happen because, that's not going to be good.
There you go.
So what's going on?
Actually, This one is a toast to sadly the now late Tony File.
I saw that
from.
There's one.
Yeah, terribly sad. He was a good friend and a mentor, and just tore me up to see that he passed away today. So
I just saw that note right before
that's
coming
why. Raising the glass in Tony's
one
honor
for Tony.
Tonight. So otherwise, on a quote unquote school night, I wouldn't necessarily be having an adult beverage, but this one's for Tony. But besides that, I didn't want to start the whole interview by bringing the place down, but I just had to express my my thoughts and feelings on a man that is largely responsible for me being, whatever success I've had. Really, he's really been a big part of it.
Right. Well, I mean, this is the truth of the life right now, and unfortunately, I just found out this is one of our guys that used to work with Dan Horan a few years back. A kid named Joe. He's suffering through some fights right now. So some of our friends are. I found out my old bass, one of my bass players that I played with a few years ago as well. He's fighting the sea. So. I mean, everybody's coming down with so many different weird ailments, and it's just becoming such a drag that almost every day somebody we know is either getting sick or they're passing on. So a prayer for all your families out there, because it's never good to hear about, all that stuff happening. So, our thoughts and prayers are always with you guys, and whoever fights the fight, God bless you. Keep fighting. That's enough for downers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's all right. Tell me what's going on, man. How's things going? I know you got the. Is it a AA fuel altered, or is it a blown alcohol fuel altered?
Well, let's see. The Fiat is. It's actually. I do run on occasion. I'll run some nitro in it. Typically, it's just a big cubic inch injected alcohol car. But the AA fuel altered I drive is Ted Bryant's car. The 134 fuel coupe.
That's badass.
And that thing's on a heavy load of nitro. I mean, I don't think we run any less than 80% in that thing, and it's whatever. It's up to Ted what he wants to, how he wants to set up the tune-up. But that thing's usually got a pretty heavy load in it, and it's a monster. That car is just a challenge to drive. The Fiat, because of the high compression engine, I can't put a whole lot of nitro in it, but we do. We'll run a small percentage in there from time to time when we want to step up a little bit. But that's a fun car. It'll run low sevens easily. At a $185 or so. And that's the car that I raced with the Northeast Timing Organization in the competition class, and was fortunate enough to win the championship in 2011, and almost repeat in 2012. Actually, in 2011, we went to 14 races and won 7, and in 2012, we went to 12 races and won 6. Wow. If I had just showed up at one more race, I would have repeated as champion. But there were some family obligations, and one was with my son, and the other was with my wife. So it was one of those things that I made the decision to put family over racing, and it cost me the championship. But no regrets.
Well, you can always do it again, as they say, right?
Well, and at that point in time, I really, I didn't necessarily have anything to prove, and so I just figured, I know that we had already won the championship, and of course, did I want to do it again? You betcha. But it was one of those things that, if I was, if I was driving a top fuel car, I was driving a, funny car and doing it for a living, all right, that'd be a different story. But it just, had to make that decision, and don't regret it a bit, honestly. But yeah. So that, and of course, I don't want to leave out the fact that I drive for Rocky Perone in the Frantic Ford. That's a fun car. I mean, it's really, that car is not meant to be a match race car, and that's all it was ever meant to be.
Right.
But it's a whole lot of fun, and hey, look, the thing runs mid-6s, pretty. It can, and we're talking about going up on the nitro percentage on that thing, and we'll see. That's up to Rocky, but whenever we're not at the same race with the fuel coupe, which unfortunately is happening twice this year, Cecil County, we had the fuel coupe and the Frantic Ford there, so I could only drive one at a time. But yeah, Rocky and Big Al Liebman and Bobby Fry and the whole crew with the Frantic Ford and the Super Camaro. That's a team I'm glad to be associated with as well.
Yeah, we had Bobby Fry on a few weeks back, and it was a kick talking to him about the Frantic Ford. I remember Frantic Ford when I was out there late 60s, early 70s. I remember the car, and we were chatting back and forth about it. I didn't know you drove on that car either. What are you doing there, Chris?
Yeah.
He's just starting up a motor over there.
I hear
things fired up.
You know, it's Chris, right?
Yeah, but that's cool. I didn't know. I just thought you were driving the Right to Breathe car.
Yeah, no, the Right to Breathe car and the 134 Fuel Coupe and the Frantic Ford. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy on the planet, honestly.
Yeah, you got a little
getting
bit
to drive a bunch of these cars, and hey, you know, it's whatever they'll put me in, man.
Exactly. Well, they got up on the screen right now. You put up on the screen
That gets
Right
loud,
to Fuel.
doesn't
Yeah, it gets a little loud. You don't need to turn the volume up, dude. You're killing me with that volume stuff, man. You killed me. It's like, what the hell is that? Is it my time's up? It's not yours. It's mine. I'm like, my time's over. Thank you. Thanks for playing, Joe. Sorry it didn't work out. So no. So what's the deal with the? I know when I first met you, you guys were doing the Right to Breathe, and you had in the Midway, you guys had up a booth there and stuff. So talk about a little bit what's Right to Breathe all about.
Absolutely. So I'm a second-generation racer, like a whole lot of people out there, second and now third-generation racers. Me, second-generation racer. My dad raced. He gave it up when my brother and I were young because it was a little more expensive than he could handle on a plumber's salary, you know. But fortunately, I was able to give it back to him years later when I started driving that Fiat Altered.
Right.
Unfortunately, at that same time, that's when he was diagnosed with COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Most people know it as emphysema. It's also chronic bronchitis is also considered COPD. So Dad gets diagnosed. He had already lost about half of his lung function. And unfortunately, most people don't get diagnosed until they've lost a significant amount of lung function. So that's what inspired us to kind of get started and provide these free screening events because, you know, okay, smoking can cause COPD, but there are people also that work in trades like my dad. I mean, my dad was a smoker, but working around asbestos-insulated pipes back in the day, that's what made his particularly bad. So, you know, we're looking around and looking at all of our racing friends going, you know what, there's a whole lot of people at risk. So we put Right to Breathe together to provide free screenings and resources and education for people living with lung disease to try to make their life easier.
Right.
So when I met you, Joe, a couple of years ago in Bakersfield, you and John Hale were kind enough to come on over and support us.
Valencia brothers.
I'm
the
eternally
Valencia
grateful for that.
Yeah, we were having a blast, and half of us couldn't do. I think Danny or Jimmy Valencia, one of the two, had the big numbers. I mean, I was like down at the bottom. I'm like, dude, my boy, I can barely breathe. Fat boy on a diet.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, but the thing is, listen, I'm a fellow guitar player too, right? And played in smoky bars for years. And
what happened? You still there?
You know, when I was younger, but still, you know, it's one of those things that we got to watch out for as musicians too, you know, because of some of the environments we're in and the things we do and all that. So, you know, keep an eye on it. You know, I certainly, the good news is if you find out you have it, you can actually get into treatment that can slow or stop the progression of it, right? The thing you want to do is prevent losing more lung function, right? So you can still have a good quality of life. So that's why we're out there. We want to help people to either know what's going on, have an opportunity to learn what's going on, and have an opportunity to live a longer, better life. If my dad had been diagnosed earlier, I'm certain he'd still be alive today. We lost him 2 years ago, you know, but after a long, valiant battle with COPD, and he did really well for a good long time.
Right.
So, you know, we were successful in that regard. So our next event, we just did the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Race and Car Show at Cecil County. We just did a screening there on June 9th, and our next one is with the NHRA at the Epping National Event in New Hampshire. So if any of the listeners are coming to the national event, come
please
see us in the Midway at the big show. I mean, we did a screening at the Four Wides last spring, not this past spring, the spring before. We were at Maple Grove. I'd love to get back out to Bakersfield. It's just going to be a matter of, can we put the money together to do it? But yeah, our next one is in a week and a half at Epping.
That'll be a pretty big.
And then we've got some local events here in New Jersey as well.
Right. I mean, is this a national Right to Breathe campaign? Is that national? Is there, maybe there's something we could do on this side of the country that might be able to help set that up, or, maybe there's something we could post up here on Radio Buzz.
So yeah, we're basically the way it is we've been going out and looking for sponsorships and applying for grants and successfully getting some grants, thankfully. That deal you saw in Bakersfield, that was from a grant from Novartis pharmaceutical company, and then also Sanofi Pharmaceutical provided us some funding for that event. And Novartis has been pretty good to us. I mean, it's they're I tell you, they're really good because well, I guess legally they can't, but they're very good about saying, hey, listen, we just want to support you doing good work. You provide a little bit of signage for us, and after that, they're just happy to see us doing good work, and that's kind of their way of giving back to the community. Yeah, so basically, it is a national program. We will go anywhere where we can find the funding to make it happen. Cover our costs of fuel and supplies and all that fun stuff, and then of course, we provide some a marketing boost for whoever sponsorship, except you get the goodwill of supporting a cause marketing campaign where we're out there trying to help make people's lives better if they're open to it.
Well, if you don't make it out to Bakersfield, maybe there's maybe we could split a booth or something and do a live broadcast and do Right to Breathe out there. Maybe we can help do something like that. Maybe they'll sponsor a booth and we can come out and maybe do something with that.
That'd be awesome. I'd absolutely love to do it, Joe. And whatever we can do together, man, I am all for it. I mean, hey, look, I'm a big fan of your show, and of course your guitar playing in the band too. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, that'd be great, man. You know how to get in touch with you. I'm certainly happy to see what we could do to make that happen, because we would absolutely love to do that.
Yeah, that would be something cool. Definitely after the show, I'll shoot you some emails, and maybe there's something we can do to help spread the word out here, and I think that would be relatively an important thing for people to get themselves screened on this day. If you see these guys Right to Breathe anywhere, it takes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't. Totally non-invasive. I mean, we have equipment. A spirometer is the name of the device that measures your lung function. And with hot rodders, we just say, hey, come put your lungs on the dyno, right? It's just
exactly.
It's just a dyno for your lungs, right? So what we're doing, it's a little machine called a spirometer. We got this company, NDD Medical, that provides us with these high-tech. I mean, these things are great. They're the best of the best when it comes to these lung function measuring devices. They actually self-calibrate. It's the coolest thing. But besides all that, all you got to do, it's like you basically have to take a deep breath. You remember because you did it, right? You take as deep a breath as you can, and you blow out as long and hard as you can. And the spirometer measures the volume of air, and it measures a couple of different categories of how your breath is working, and it gives you a readout, and we can tell you then, are you experiencing some restriction, and we can tell you to go see your doctor maybe or not, and we give you a results card. So if you do have to go see your doctor, you can hand them a piece of paper that says, look, this is what we did, this is what it said, and they can take it from there. But simple process, really, and it only takes a minute, like you said.
Well, that's why I figured it'd be good to talk a little bit about what's going on with that, because I think it would be good to help anybody who can take the second, because you don't know. I mean, most of us are walking around with something and we don't know, so it's always good to have yourself checked out, especially if anything's free. It doesn't take anything, like we said, so I think you guys do a hell of a job with promoting that, and the car's bitching, you see that car at the track. So what's your next plan? I mean, now we could swamp topics on it, because I think that we could do this right with the Right to Breathe. What's your plan on the rest of the season? Are you just going out for fun? Well, I mean, I know you drive 3 different vehicles, so what's your plan now?
Yeah, so we got a couple of different things going on, and I actually I got to back up a second and do a quick tip of the hat to my friend and my co-founder with Right to Breathe, Tim Charlet, because the two of us together really working was really kind of what put this thing together, and without his help, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've done so far. So I want to make sure I mention that because it's you got to give credit where credit's due, and again he's just been so instrumental in making things happen. So plans for the rest of the year. We've got some dates coming up with the Fuel Coupe. I'm going to be out at Beaver Springs Dragway for the York Reunion Race, that's out in the middle of Pennsylvania. I'm hoping we'll go back out to the California Hot Rod Reunion. It's a long tow, obviously from the East Coast out to Cali, and man, I really would love to go, but that's up to Ted. He's the one writing the checks on that, the car owner, Ted Bryan. So we'll see. It's again. We didn't go last year, and Friday of the California Hot Rod Reunion last fall, Ted calls me up and says, I feel like we should be in California. And I said, yeah, me too. But
yeah,
so
but
we'll see.
It rained out.
We've
so.
got some.
Oh, it did. That's right.
What's that?
March meet rained out. I was going to say it rained out, but no, it was still.
Yeah. March meet rained out. Yeah.
Always.
And that's it's funny. All these years I've been to the Hot Rod Reunion. I've never been to the March meet, and that's on my bucket list. One of the other cars that's kind of been in progress for a long time is the Philadelphia Flyer and my friend Goldie, Paul Gold.
God, I remember that car.
Yeah, so it used to be nicknamed the Philadelphia Fryer because
it was always on fire.
They had it in flames.
I always saw pictures of it at the end of the line through the lights on fire all the time. Who was the driver on the Philadelphia Fryer? I think my brain is kind of slipping, and I see the car.
So originally the car was owned by Joe City,
right?
And then he sold it. And now I'm blanking. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. But then my buddy Goldie and Ken and my friend Ken Hamilton got involved with the second owner, and oh my God, I can't
Here
believe
we go.
I can't think of the guy's name.
Here, we'll
right
do
now.
this real quick. Anybody who's watching right now, remember the Philadelphia, what is the Philadelphia Flyer, right?
Flyer, yep.
Yep. Anybody remember who was the driver of the car? Post it up right now. We'll see who can get it.
Yep.
I wanted to say it was a Sangrini car, but I don't think so either.
No, it wasn't.
Anybody who gets the right answer, we got a Stith printing banner here that we can send out as a
You got a Stith printer branding, or you mean a DJ
Safety? That's right,
there you
DJ
go.
Safety.
Somebody's looking it up on Facebook.
Well, hey, quick tip of the hat to both of those guys. First of all, DJ Safety is my guy. Big Ben has been providing my not only I buy my fire suits from him and belts and parachutes and engine diapers and anything and everything you can imagine. And the T-shirts for the Right to Breathe car and the 134 Fuel Coupe, the first version of T-shirts for that, because we've got two different versions for that. It's all Stith printing. So Kevin Stith was the so
Mike Schultz.
Was
it Mike Schultz? No, Tim Charlotte has got it. I remembered it as soon as he put it up. I knew it was Frank something. Frank Kramberger.
That's it, Kramberger.
That's it.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Tim,
that's this is why we make a good team, Tim and I, because he comes up with the names and things that I can't even think of when my brain is shutting down and not working right. But,
I know, and I said Frank, and I couldn't remember the last name on it. I'm like, oh, great. So Tim, send us a PM with your address, and we'll send you out a DJ safety banner. You got the question.
Cool.
Right?
See, and you know what's going to happen? That DJ safety banner is going to
end up in your
hung up in
all right,
in
then
our
Joe.
area,
then
so
Joe,
can,
send me the address after, and I'll send it out to you guys.
There you go. Tim can handle that. That's great.
That's a kick. See, we had a little trivia, and we had a little bit of knowledge on what's happening with the right to breathe and a little bit of racing stuff. But I'm still getting a kick out of that. You started the story with the Philadelphia Flyer. Go ahead.
We've been in process. I mean, we've been working on the thing slowly. Goldie has a couple of different funny cars that he's working on. He's got his car, Good Vibrations. No relation, obviously, with the company out on the West Coast there. But so Goldie's got a couple different funny cars. One of them is the Philadelphia Flyer, and he was a part of the team when Frank Kramberger owned the car.
There it is on fire.
So now we're putting the car back together, and he wants to call it the Philadelphia Flyer, but but not on fire in small letters underneath. But I'm hoping, the plan is if we can get the doggone thing done, we want to bring that thing out to the March meet, because that will be, when it's done, the intention will be for it to be a competitive Nostalgia Nitro funny car. So I'm looking forward to that. And, again, Goldie has been, we work on it a little bit together, and when it's done, I'll be able to drive that thing. So we'll see where that goes. It's just question of time, you know what I mean? Time and getting all the parts and pieces together. And we still got some chassis work to do on the thing. So it's not like it's close to being done. I wish it was, but we'll see. We'll see. We're probably a year and a half out on that one, getting it done.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, though. And Chris is posting up all the pictures of it on fire, of course.
That's all that shows up.
It's like he had the one where it's on flames through the light. He's now at the shut-off. It's on fire. So you'd have to see what's happening.
Well, the funny thing is, on that car, you remember the old Alcoa Aluminum Company?
Uh-huh. I know, it just melted right down. Yeah.
Their saying, right, was Alcoa can't wait. Well, on the side of the Philadelphia Flyer was the sticker, Alcoa can't wait, because Kramberger found every way possible.
What happened?
So that was the joke on the side of that car. Alcoa can't wait, because they know they're going to get a new influx of torn up aluminum they can melt down.
Did you just? Yeah, I think he just cut out on that punchline.
I think he said, because it was the phones the phones have been really weird. They're just cutting in and out the last couple of shows.
So what it was on the side of the car. It said Alcoa can't wait, because they knew there was going to be a fresh kill, another blown up hunk of aluminum that would be melted down for scrap. So that was the punchline, because Alcoa can't wait on the side of the car, because Kramberger would find a new way to blow it up every weekend.
Oh, that's crazy. There's been so many cool cars that they definitely should definitely bring back from those days, man, and the nostalgia. Just kind of get those bodies back up and running. Because every once in a while, I guess on Facebook, I see what's at the seldom seen funny cars, and you start seeing some of those names out there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So they're all out there. That's some great ideas for guys who want to bring back the memories of those cars and bring them back and see if we can find out if we can do them. That'd be cool. You got the life.
Yeah. No.
You got Frantic Ford and so.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we can get that thing done and get it out there. And Goldie helps out, obviously. Being another Philadelphia guy, Goldie helps out with Rocky Perone and those funny cars. And there was talk of even bringing the Frantic Ford. The Frantic Ford's already there. Bringing the Philadelphia Flyer back down to Rocky's shop, and maybe we'll all do a little work on it down there. But we'll see what happens. Right now, again, we've got some races coming up with the Frantic Ford and the Super Camaro. We'll be out at Martin, Michigan, August 12th. I think that's another one where we're going to be at least partway across the country. And I know there's some dates coming up down at Maryland International and possibly something at ATCO. And I'd have to ask Rocky again on the schedule, because unfortunately I don't have it in front of me. But that's, again, that's a fun team, a great bunch of guys. And, we really have a good time going out and racing together. And of course, with Ted Brine and Goldie's also with that, involved with the 134 Fuel Coupe, and looking forward to that whole team. I mean, Joe, the thing about drag racing, right, and racing with all these great people, it's more like a big family. And, it's of course it's about the competition. Of course it's about the challenge of making the car run better. And me as a driver, listen, if I'm in behind the wheel, I'm a happy guy. But the friends and the relationships and the family atmosphere that becomes of it, and drinking beers together and hanging out and having a great time. That's really, at the end of the day, man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. None of us are getting rich doing this, that's for sure. You know the old saying, how do you make a small fortune in drag racing? Start with a large
$2 billion.
One, right?
Yeah, start with $2 billion.
Yeah.
Just like rock and roll, brother. How do you make $1 million, right? Start with 2.
Yeah, that's it. Same. It's funny. I've said this actually playing guitar one night at the Slippery Noodle in Indianapolis. is that drag racing and rock and roll are like twin sons born from different mothers. You know what I mean?
We just
it's so much the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, totally different, but they're so much the same. It's unbelievable.
Gotcha. Hang on one sec. Let's see who we get. We just joined the line? Who we got?
Well, this is Bill Donor.
Bill Donor. What's happening, my brother?
Very nice.
Yeah, I was just finishing up with Mr. Joe Morrison. So
Excellent.
So you got Bill. You got Big Bill on the phone with us now. He's going to tell us about the races coming up. And I know he's had to probably do some East Coast runs out there for you guys once or twice in his lifetime. I'm sure, right, Bill?
Well, back there, I did some ads for some of those places over the years.
Right.
For English Town and places like that there. But what's going on? What do you want to know?
Yeah, I figured I was chatting a little with Joe a little bit, and we figured we'd chat with you. And I'm just running everybody right into one phone call after another. We don't even take breaks anymore. We just have everybody on.
You don't need a break. A guy of your ilk, you can do this.
Oh yeah, I could babble on for 5 or 6 hours, but Chris will kill me.
You did it for 12 once.
That's true. But yeah, Joe, you got a website that you want to post up for any of this stuff that before I send you down the road again and have you come back on?
Absolutely. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, so certainly the one I would send folks to, the website is rightToBreathe.org, and it's RIGHT, the number 2, and then breathe, BREATHE. Everybody forgets the E on the end, .org. And then, of course, they can like us. We got a Facebook page. We got an Instagram page. We got a Twitter page, all that fun stuff. But
and what about your races?
Yeah, it'd be great if folks want.
Go ahead. It's cut now.
Facebook is really where we promote our events.
Gotcha.
So,
well, if we could do something,
maybe one day I'll say maybe one day I'll get to hire Bill Donor to promote, or we can do some events together, or we can support one of his events, And like you were starting to say, we could do something together down the line, Joe. I would love to do that.
For sure. Let's see. Right after because he's posting up your Facebook page now, so we could talk right after I get back from Seattle and Spokane, and let's see if we can put something together for the rest of the year, maybe out here on the West Coast.
Yeah,
whatever, guys. But if you're going to hire Bill Donor, you better hurry. He's getting a little long in the tooth. Getting a little old to be doing this stuff, man.
Come on, Bill.
I'm on the mandatory retirement age.
Come on, Bill. You still got another at least 20, 30, 40, 50 years to go, buddy. You ain't retiring.
Not a chance. I'm going to tell you talk to me after next week and see what I say.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah.
But cool.
Give me putting on two races in 3 days and driving 500 miles and that's years since I've done stuff like that.
Yeah, you can ride with us. It could be fun.
But I got the Joe Walla band, right?
Yeah, we're going. The Kings are going. We're on our way.
The Kings. What more does a guy need?
Probably.
What more does a guy need? How about in Seattle? We got 16 or 17 funny cars. A couple of you, and as long as this super Elvis impersonator, they tell me they love up in the Northwest, and God knows what else.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. You have to get Joe to come on up, right, Joe?
Come on, Joe. Come on up. Maybe you go up there and I'll stay home.
There you go. We'll do Right to Breathe.
My dog would say, "Come on, Dad, stay with me."
There you go. You gotta love him. Well, I'm gonna let Joe run, and we'll chat in a minute. Right now, Bill, give me 2 seconds, and Joe, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us tonight. Definitely want to have you come back on the show toward the end of the season, and we can chat a little, see what's happened. Keep me posted.
Sounds great.
And thanks for being part tonight, man. It's a good way to start the show with our buddies on the East Coast. Right to Breathe. Check them out. Check out Joe Morrison's racing on Facebook, and keep in touch with them. See what's happening. Joe, thank you so much for being part of the show tonight, brother.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, and talk to you soon, man. Thanks.
Awesome.
You got it, Joe. Thank you so much. That's Joe Morrison, ladies and gentlemen. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Donor. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something, Bill.
Was that a standing ovation from your studio?
There you go.
There you go.
So let's talk about Seattle and Spokane. That's going to be a blast, brother.
Well, let's put them in the reverse order. Let's talk about Spokane and
first.
Seattle.
That's it. Thank you.
Being as you're going to be there, of course, we start off on the 4th of July, on Wednesday, the 4th of July, at Spokane County Raceway. And that'll be a terrific night, too, because we got a lot of stuff going on. A couple of jet cars, a couple of wheel standers, the Joe Walla and the Kings, and a giant fireworks show to wrap it all up. And we got in Spokane, we'll have right at a dozen funny cars, which is for an 8-car show, which means the qualifying, there's 2 quick squirts of qualifying, one at noon, one 3 in the afternoon. We start eliminations at 6, and we're going to go right on through till we shoot off the fireworks somewhere between 10 and 11.
It should be fun.
Yeah, we got class. I think we've got in our United Nitro Funny Car guys, we've got 1 through 8 in the standings right now. We'll all be at both these races, and of course that includes the frontline guy, who's Bobby Cottrell and Bucky Austin, the Austin O'Brien car, which has set the national record, won the March meet in Baker's.
Right.
And it's just kind of been dominating everybody in the West. But they won't be quite so easy for them, because when we get to Seattle, we actually will have between either 16 or 17 cars, and that's another 8-car show. So qualifying, we have 1 qualifying pass Friday night, 2 on Saturday, and then we'll run eliminations on Saturday night and work around to where we've got your band wailing along in the pits.
Right.
And this Danny Vernon, the Elvis impersonator, and a guy that's going to try and set a Guinness Book of World Records for the longest burnout at a drag race. A guy named Ron Buchholz is going to do that. And so, and the wheel stand cars, the legendary Hemi under glass and the little red fire truck. We got a lot of stuff going on now. It's a matter of whether I can seem to make it all work or not.
Well, you've done this before once or twice, I think, so I think it'll turn out really well.
Yeah, I have. But, like I say, I've had a lot of years on the sidelines. It's like trying to bring back an old heavyweight fighter after about 30 years and fight a bunch. It's tough, because I'm going to fly into Seattle on Sunday, run around to the racetrack and meetings all day Monday, then drive over the mountain to Spokane on Tuesday, get there, set everything up, get out the racetrack 6 in the morning on Wednesday, run till won't get out there till 2 in the morning, turn around, drive back over to Seattle.
Right.
Put on a 2-day race over there. And the racers, it's tough on them too. I mean, they've got to go over to Seattle over to Spokane and set everything up. And in fact, there's like 4 of them that aren't even going to try that two race deal. They're just going to come to Seattle because they think they can't. In the old days, these guys used to run 3, 4, 5 times a week.
True.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, but
it's not like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I figure most of those guys would probably hit Seattle, but when I saw the entry line for Seattle, I go, wow, that's a pretty big show. We only had, I think, about, 9 cars last year? First year back?
We had 10 in Seattle last year, and we're not quite double that, but we got we got 16 or 17 anyhow. And so, the turnout's terrific. It'll be the most we've had at our Nostalgia Funny Car race we've ever had. Of course, we've only been doing this. We've been running the United Nitro Funny Cars for the last couple of years. 3 years we've kind of run these races. And this is by far, these 2, much larger than anything we've done before. Thanks a lot to Bucky Austin, who's really supported the class and bankrolls the deal, which is no small deal, because these are really big time races to put on. The purses are really large, and we haven't spared any expense on trying to make it. We're bringing in Jim Black from Bakersfield, who's the guru of track prep, just to make the 2 racetracks absolutely pristine so we can run quicker than we've ever run. Wow. So there's just a lot of stuff like that, We've got our own tech guy coming in, Ken Gentry. make sure the cars are all up to snuff. In the beginning, when we started this a couple of years ago, we didn't have any of this stuff. We were kind of doing a lot of it by the seat of our pants.
Right.
We didn't even have Joe Walla, so I don't know how we did it.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, well, we're going to see a lot of you in the next week.
Oh, yeah.
A week from tonight, you'll be rocking and rolling over in Spokane, Washington.
We're looking forward to it, man. We're going to be there on Tuesday, so we're going to make sure we got all the power and all the normal stuff that we need to take care of, and not stress about anything on Wednesday, and just enjoy the day, and go harass everybody throughout the day. And we're going to be playing for Bucky's crew on Friday night at the track, so I know Bucky does a big thing with his crew and all the people that work for Bucky's repair and auto shops out across through the Northwest. So they all come out. So last year we sat and watched everybody and said we should play there. So this year we got the surprise going. We even got a surprise for Bucky, too. He was asking us about playing a song from some band that was one of his favorites up in the Northwest. So I happened to be able to whip it out on Sunday with the guys. So we're going to play it for him when we're up there. So he'll be smiling, I hope. And that's a tough thing.
A lot of bands that came out of the Northwest. You could be. Are you familiar with Eddie Vedder? I think he's coming out to the race.
Yes, I know. That's Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
So.
And the original Louie guys, the Kingsmen, are right there from Tacoma, Washington. And in fact, they used to come to car races all the time. Not to mention Bachman Turner Overdrive, who I'd play one of my races in Seattle. When they were really hot with taking care of business.
Yep.
Went up to number 1 in the charts. I know a little about rock and roll. Buddy.
Oh, I know you do. I know that for sure.
I hung around with Keith and Mick and the guys.
You taught Keith how to play and Mick how to sing, right?
No, I didn't do that, but I was right there in the middle of Keith's wedding to Patty Hansen when I lived in Cabo San Lucas. We had Eric Clapton and Bo Diddley and Mick Jagger, and geez, that was big stuff. That was big stuff. I didn't even have to promote any of that. I could just go and drink tequila.
that was probably worth the admission in itself, right? Just sitting drinking tequila all day.
Well, it was pretty heady stuff. And I didn't realize how good it was till years later. When it was going on, I didn't think there was much to it. But why would I need those guys when I got you?
Yeah, there you go. Well, God willing, it's gonna. Hey, I'm looking forward to being here, man. I'm very honored to get up there, and the guys are pretty hyped to get up there. So. We weren't sure what was happening. That's what you were asking me for some posters, and I'm like, I didn't get any posters to you quick enough because I wasn't sure what we were doing and what the plan was. Because I last minute I got a hold of Buck this week, last couple of weeks, and we put it all together, and I'm like, okay, we're good. So I wasn't sure.
If anybody's listening to this that plans to come to any of those events, the tickets are on sale right at the front gate. We don't sell pre-sale of these things. They don't. In the Northwest, people kind of wait to see what the weather's like. I hate to say that, but I lived a lot of my adult life up there, so I know how that works. And in Spokane, where we'll open the gates at 8 in the morning on Wednesday, and we'll run cars pretty much all day, and then at night we'll run eliminations in the jet. We have 2 jet funny cars that'll run side by side, and they're pretty exciting to watch. The wheel stand guys will be over there. You'll be playing music. And then we wrap it all up with the biggest fireworks show they've ever had out that racetrack. It's a big professional fireworks show we're putting on. And then over the mountain to Seattle. Yep. That's a track up there at Kent, Washington called Pacific Raceways that I actually built in 1969. God, I hate to tell you I'm that old. First time I ever went up there to the Northwest, and I put in the tower and the grandstands and the guardrails. Invented a race called 64 Funny Cars, which is pretty legendary in the Northwest.
That was beautiful.
Now they're running a national event there in August, which I'm up there for, too, I might add. After I get done with this trip, I got to turn around and go back up there again for 10 more days. But anyhow, that's a beautiful racetrack. It's like a national park setting out in Kent, Washington, about 20 miles outside of the city of Seattle, halfway between Seattle and Tacoma, Washington. And, God, it's just a gorgeous place to go watch a car race. It really is.
It is definitely.
You see Mount Rainier in the background.
Uh-huh.
You were there last year, so you know that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you're in that area, don't just get your butts out there. Just go out there. As Darr would say, because Darr's going to come on later. Get your ass to a drag race. So
And this is Pacific Raceways,
That's
right?
Pacific Raceway. You showed the clips on both of them. Chris is showing the clips on
that was the commercial I played.
He played both of the commercials. He had the one for
this one.
Spokane, and he had the one for Pacific. Right now is the one that's up. And
is there a website to look at where there's more video?
Sure, you can. Well, both of those racetracks have websites, PacificRaceways.com and SpokaneCountyRaceway.com. And then we have our own website called UnitedNitroFunnyCars.com. And all the stuff's up on that site, UnitedNitroFunnyCars.com. All the commercials and all the stuff and the posters and everything are up on that. So, yeah, you can go you can hardly miss it on the on the internet. And to use our old line that we used to make infamous in the days of doing drag race commercials all over the country, the line was simply, be there.
Exactly. I don't think anything could be said better than that. That's all you need to say, be there.
Be there.
Nitro,
yeah.
burning funny cars. Nitro.
Hey, yeah. I did a commercial. I changed them up. I had an old commercial I'd done for years. That was, imagine a 2,000-pound fiberglass Mustang too. Put in a 10,000 horsepower drag racing engine. Pour in high explosive exotic fuel. Cap it quick, and then climb in the driver's seat and ask yourself, what in the hell am I doing here? Or
do I feel lucky, punk?
I used that in the ads. I put that into the ads for the first time in Spokane. I like the dilly dilly. I hope I don't get sued by Budweiser.
Yeah, you know what? Let them come after you.
Let them go after me, huh?
That's what I say. Let them
All
come.
right, you cats. I look forward to seeing you, and everybody will have a terrific time in the Pacific Northwest. I know.
I'm looking forward to seeing you,
keep
brother.
Keep the weather good.
Yeah, amen. I think the weather in Spokane's supposed to be about 75 to 80 degrees, so that's what I heard. Hopefully it doesn't get much hotter than that because, those boys will slip and slide down the track, so I'm hoping
Well, we'll have the track good, but, it's been really – what frightens you a little, because I told you I've lived up there a lot of this, is it's been really good for a long time right now.
Yeah, and then it's going to rain like hell.
In the whole United States, we've had these this hot things going on. But that weather, particularly in Seattle, it spins off the Gulf of Alaska, and God, you never know what's coming. So hopefully we can keep it another week, because a week from tonight, just about an hour ago, we will have run the first round of eliminations in Spokane.
Yeah, this is going to be a good time, man, and that's why I wanted you to get on and talk a little bit, because maybe something I might miss other than I'm playing rock and roll and I'm stoked. We might put the big kahuna on one of those big rockets and shoot them guys up in the. That could be in a whole thing with his hat on and shoot him up.
Sure.
See you, big kahuna.
Anything. You're pretty alert.
We're going to have fun, man. It's going to be a blast, bro.
All right. Well, I'll see you in the Northwest in a week.
You got it, my brother. And you have a safe trip up. And you guys out there listening, definitely get out to these races. It's going to be a kick. Thanks, Bill.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. I think if we can get Bucky following behind you, life will be good. Because I told Bucky.
You got Bucky coming on tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was going to come in as you're talking. I told him about 7:30 to get on the.
Has he called you yet?
Well, we still got a few minutes. Only 7.
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes.
Boy, that's big stuff for you people listening. We're going to have they're going to have the one and only. Dennis Bucky Austin.
We got him on. We got Heidi coming on, and I know Heidi's talking about going to Frank Hawley's school, so this is going to be pretty exciting to know what she's doing with that. We got Bobby Cottrell coming on, and then we're going to top it off with Darr. So we're going to have Darr talk a little bit tonight. Oh, boy. So we got them all. You
got a star-studded show.
Star-studded.
Yeah, it's all Chris Seaward. He's the star-studded. We're just a bunch of guys. No problem, brother.
See you in the Northwest.
You got it. Bill Donner, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Bye.
All right, my brother. How cool.
That was really cool.
Thanks for running those commercials. I forgot about, those are out there. You could probably run them all week throughout the night, and just see if we can get some more bodies out into the stands. Cause
yeah, that commercial that they have on their page there, yeah?
Yeah, that would be cool to run them on a few. We can run them throughout the night, whatever. See what's happening and run it until we hit the road. We're hitting the road on Sunday, and we're leaving Sunday. We're going through. Dude, I got to tell you the story. This is a classic. I went to play up in Kennewick, Washington a few years ago, and we had a song in the radio station up there for like 3 years and was in rotation. So we finally made it up to Kennewick. So we're on our way into this little town called Winnemucca out there. It's like the last stop on going north to crossing the border. So we go into this hotel. It was called the Frontier or whatever. I can tell you it's probably the worst hotel I've ever stayed at in my life. Sorry if you guys are listening to Winnemucca about the Frontier. But, dude, it was like straight out of Seven, the movie Seven. They had those Christmas tree air fresheners on the wall. The front door was kicked in with holes with cowboy boots. You could tell somebody was a little pissed off, couldn't get in. Honey, I know you're in there with somebody. Let me in there. And the back window was open, wide open. It didn't lock. The freaking tub was full of grease. So I didn't even want to say. They were probably cooking in there, too. You know, I'm sure. It was one of those things. Me, Wayne, and Mark were looking at each other saying, dude, it's scaby central in here. It was the best $50 hotel we ever split.
Hey, check this out. We got a question out there from West Towery. It says, is Pat Austin still around?
Pat is still around, my brother. He's working with Drew and Mike, so those guys are still doing some stuff. They're all contributing to the Austin racing stuff out there. So he still shows up on occasion on some of the big show stuff.
Nice.
With Bucky, and they're running a lot of nostalgia stuff. So you might catch him at a nostalgia race because I always see Mike with Drew, and Pat's usually not too far away from them all. So I get Mike and Pat kind of confused sometimes. So if you guys are listening, I'm sorry. I never mean to do that because I get, is that Pat? And it was Mike one time. I was all getting excited the first time I met Pat. I'm like, oh, yeah. Because Pat's definitely was a legend, just like Bucky is. You know, Uncle Buck's like. And Walt's out there, too. So they're all doing something in the nostalgia and racing. So they're still a very, very big part of the nostalgia and drag racing stuff. So, yeah, you'll find them. But I'd love to see them behind the wheel again. But I don't know if that would happen. I think Drew and, you got Heidi about ready to step in the seat. So the family's just progressing into the new dynasty of family, just like the Force family has done. So
that is awesome.
So that's my synopsis of it all. So if I sound like I'm babbling without not knowing knowledge, but yeah, they're still there. What was the other question? I know Bucky will be showing up, so we could probably ask Bucky that question. What's Pat up to? And Bucky will probably say he's locked up in the other trailer. And we don't
locked up away.
Exactly. We don't want him racing any Nitro cars unless it's ours.
Well, should we run through the Phil report real quick?
Yeah, let's do the Phil report because if Bucky happens to call in,
right.
we'll just put him on hold a minute and we'll start chatting again.
All right, well, stand by. We got the Phil report coming up right now. Oh.
What?
There's the Phil report.
Hey, Rockin' Racing fans, this is NHRA Phil checking in with your Norwalk, Ohio race results. In Top Fuel, we have a newcomer who just came back onto the circuit, Blake Alexander. And in Funny Car, we got Matt Hagan. And in Pro Stock, we got Tanner Gray. And in Pro Stock Motorcycle, we have Eddie Craywick. For all your NHRA needs, go to www.nhra.com. And we have Epping, New Hampshire coming up this next weekend. I'll check back with you, I think, in about a week and a half. This is NHRA Phil for Rockin' Racing. Chris and Joe, I'll check in soon. See you guys later. Take care. Bye.
Right on, Phil. Avita Zane, my brother. I seen a few people post a few more notes on Pat Austin, so if you're still looking at some of the notes, it said that Joe Morrison said the 134 car that they raced was owned by Pat. Somebody posted up that they were on the Nitro reports last night. And I caught a little bit of it, but I didn't catch when Drew and them guys were on. I heard them when they were talking about Drew Austin Proc. Austin Proc has just got himself a new his license in the Nitro ranks. So
nice.
So Drew Austin, who's also running, but they got him. They flip-flammed him, and that's where I caught the show a little bit because I was driving and texting and doing what I normally do and having a beer while I'm driving.
Man, everybody's got to come and check this out. This is amazing Facebook page. This is probably one of the better ones I've seen. I'm going to pop this up on the screen.
What do you got going on?
This is the Pacific Raceways page. If you go to their videos, check this out. They got a ton of videos. They've really spent some quality time at this. That's really cool. Right?
What are they doing?
It looks like they're junior.
Yeah, that's what they are, junior drags.
Junior drags right there.
Yeah, it is a beautiful facility, and so is the track out there. It's actually like a Grand Prix track as well too. So the drag strip, I think, is part of the race course. So it is cool. It is definitely cool. The cars are scattered all over the place. I'd like to see it with the big show.
I would drive one of those.
You'd probably kill yourself in that.
That looks like fun. I would do that. The big giant things look scary.
They look a little crazy.
Yeah, that looks like you can hurt yourself in those. But this looks like break a bone here and there, maybe.
Where's Heidi? Heidi just sent me a note, so I just wanted to send her something real quick.
All right.
Tell her, if you're listening, Heidi, go ahead and call in, because if you can get a hold of Pops and tell him don't forget about us. I wanted to have Bucky give us a buzz in to see what's happening and chat a little bit. I'm looking to see, because you know me, texting, driving, walking, all that stuff.
All right, we'll jump over to the comments and see what we have. A lot of folks having conversations with each other. No sound. Randy said there was no sound. Everyone's still getting sound, yeah? I think everyone's getting sound. Share the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
You got to go. I mean, it's definitely a cool place to go check out and see what's happening. I mean, most of these tracks, I haven't been to Spokane yet, and that should be pretty cool. I hear it's kind of out in the tree section too, so it's going to be fun, man, and see what's happening.
Oh, look at that tree line in there.
Oh yeah, it's a long shut off too. It looks like at nighttime it's cool because they go straight up into the sunset, and it's like that's cool. And right about where they're showing you that little grandstand, you could sit back there and watch them launch from there or the sides. And we usually just stood on the ground and tried to get our ears blown out, so that way I couldn't hear nothing the next day. That way I didn't hear nobody in the car. Hey, what's up?
Huh?
That's how it was. So.
Oh, I used to do that. That's a lot of fun.
So this is kind of a trippy. It's a cool facility. So
yeah,
we're just babbling and fishing for stuff. Hey, just a real quick shout out to all our sponsors while we're waiting for the callers to call in. Stiff Printing, thank you so much again for being a sponsor for us since the beginning of our shows. And big shout out to Nitro Mafia and NTech Oil. Bucky, of course, Bucky Austin Racing, and Bucky's repair mufflers and radiator shops across the Northwest. And we got MediPuff, Medi-Puff.com.
Or you can just go to Google and type in MediPuff. They pretty much come up everywhere.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing some stuff with these guys, so you might see this thing blowing up pretty big, and who knows, maybe if he sends us a sample and I might try it and see what say.
Oh, we're supposed to have samples in now. Our social media strategist, Kirk Lockhart, he was supposed to receive those. Ah, here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Hi, you're live on Radio Buzz. Who we got?
Bucky Austin, how you guys doing?
What's up, Buck? I just knew it was just we had Bill on for a few minutes, and he's like, "Well, you got a star-studded show on." I go, we got Chris. That's all that mattered. Chris is the star. So what's happening?
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. I'm stoked that we're coming up to play rock and roll for you, man, and all the people out there in the Spokane and Seattle area.
Yeah, it should be a good show in Spokane. It's just one day and one night, and it's jam-packed with excitement. We've got jet cars and wheel standers and the Joe Walla band and fireworks at 10 o'clock at night, and plus all the United Nitro Funny cars will be there, and big bracket program. So we're pretty stoked here, and we're getting all fired up and ready to get over there. So, I hope you got some stamina, man. You'll probably be playing for a couple hours straight.
Oh, you know me, I don't care. It's the end of the night where you're going to have to probably lift me up, because I think last time from Seattle I stuck to the stage and I needed help getting off of it. Oh, you're laughing. If you ask Ned and Jose, they said I was like doing the sword with the stone. I was stuck. I was like, somebody get me up. So hopefully not. Hopefully I don't have that experience. But I'm looking forward, man. This is going to be a kick. We had Bill on talking about how beautiful the facilities are and what's going on, and I'm figuring your guys are going to set the kill, and kill a couple of these coming up.
Yeah, it's our United Funny Car Association's points race. So there's 14 or 15 cars entered at Spokane for an 8-car show. So that just the qualifying should be pretty spectacular. And Spokane's probably one of the greatest places to watch night racing, because the bleachers, the concrete bleachers, are right next to the drag strip. It's like being at Long Beach in the 60s or Puyallup Raceways up here in the 60s and 70s. So, if the fans are listening out there, I think they would, for the bang for the buck on 4th of July, this would be a good program to go watch.
I'm thinking it's going to be a blast, man. I know a lot of buddies up there, and all Chris Davis and his old school Nitro crew. When I went up to Spokane, when I came to see you that one time at the shop, I stopped by their shop, and all those guys are stoked. You guys are coming up. I'm going, yeah, these guys are they're stoked for that. We're coming up, so I'm looking forward to seeing all our friends up there as well. So I even got a couple of my customers stopping up, so it's going to be a kick, man.
Yeah, and then you just get a day breather, and then Friday and Saturday at Seattle.
Right.
And I think we have around 17 cars entered for an 8-car show there. And we're having a giant bracket program there from Super Pro on down, plus the Nitro cars, plus we have around 25 to 30 Nitro dragsters that are going to start up and do a memorial for Frank Hall, who used to be he was 1973 world champion. He's from Seattle area, and
right.
He just happened to pass away here in the summer. So, it's a lot of things are going on at Seattle too, and hopefully, everybody's excited as we are. And I think with all the work that Bill Donner's doing and Darr and a bunch of guys, I think we'll be successful.
Yeah. Darr, I was talking to Darr, was at the Roadster show about a week ago, so he's going to come on the show and talk a little bit too and help do any boosting that we can. That's why I said whatever we can cross-promote on both of our shows to get this thing blowing up, we definitely are doing what we can to get more bodies out to see the show. And, you're still doing your thing with your with your workers on Friday? You're still doing that dinner like you did last year?
Well, there'll be... I think there's close to 100, 150. And then on Saturday, too, the curfew at Saturday, I think, is 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So we should be rocking, Friday night and Saturday night. And we also have an Elvis impersonator that's going to show you some tricks and go from there.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not moving around with a guitar. I might be able to do a couple. I know you said you were playing with Ginger Baker the last time we texted back and forth, so I'll have you come up and play a couple of songs that you taught Ginger.
Oh, yeah, sure, exactly.
Oh, see, now I put you on the spot. Now it's a whole different story. But I got a surprise for you. You asked me to play something, so we're going to play it for you this time.
Okay. All right.
Because you said, hey, you should play one of the songs from the boys that came up here. Well, we are. Just for you, brother.
All right, good.
So
good. I appreciate that.
This should be
how's things going on the radio station?
Oh, the station's awesome. We really do appreciate you guys being part of our sponsorship, man, because that's meant a lot to keep it rolling. And, dude, we just keep blowing this thing up as much as we can. What do we get up to the last couple of shows, Chris? We were like at 25,000 and viewers and listening combined from Facebook, YouTube.
I think it was like 180,000.
What, for the week
overall for the week last week.
So
it was
the station's growing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's started
cool.
with just a few handful of things, and we keep adding new stuff. And Chris has moved the studio around. I don't know if you noticed any difference in the studio. We got him in another room so we don't look at each other anymore.
Yeah, so that way he doesn't put his arm around me anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, because I always would do this, and my arm would be on the back of the chair next to him. It's like, dude, you're hugging me. Well, we're brothers, man. What are you doing later?
What are you doing later?
Just shave the mustache.
Well, I'm sure glad that you guys are getting that thing rocking and rolling, and hope you become more successful as time goes by. But sure enjoy listening to you guys sometimes.
Oh, thank you, brother. And it's, dude, all the guys that we've had on. I mean, we've had legends like yourself. Somebody asked the question this is going to be a good question for you. These guys were asking, what is Pat up to these days, your nephew?
Well, my nephew, his son, drives that A-Fuel dragster with a Ford in it. And the Ford was designed by Pat's dad, Walt, my brother. And they've won numerous races with it in A-Fuel class. In fact, they're leading the points now in that A-Fuel class in the Heritage Series. So that's what he's doing. I mean, he's only racing about 7-8 times a year, and his son's driving the car. And they've been pretty successful with it. They broke the mile-an-hour record at Sacramento, and they've also got the quickest time at 5:81 in the A-Fuel class. So they're going head-to-head with Ken Bates and Dean Adams and those guys. But that's what he's doing. He's just running his business, and his son's racing. And so it's kind of, when we go to the heritage races, when we're both there, it's kind of like a big family deal. But he's doing good, and his family's doing good, and his son's doing good racing, so can't complain.
That's
nice.
That's awesome, because I knew he was still involved in racing, but one of our listeners had asked where did Pat disappear to, and I wasn't sure if it was Mike or Pat.
It was Wes Towery, the bottom end guy, nicknamed Bun Boy.
Oh. So you asked what happened to Pat, and I'm like, okay, well, I know he's still involved, and so we'll see what was happening with that one. I know that. I was just go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say, I mean, if the gentleman's from California, he needs to get out to the Hot Rod or the reunion or the March meet at Bakersfield, and Pat will be there with his A-Fuel dragster with his son driving it.
There you go.
Nice. There you go.
That's the answer that you need. That's the only answer you need. Or be in Spokane. Come on.
There you go.
Or Seattle, the one, and come up and say hi to Bucky and see what's happening. But I was going to say, we know the wild one is going to Frank Hawley's school, right? And she's going to call in too. So I was going to have Heidi talk about what's happening. Is she going to run a nitro car, brother?
No, I don't think so. She's involved in a lot of stuff, horses and dogs, raising dogs and raising horses, and now she wants to become a drag racer. But she'll talk your ear off, man.
But Dad. Can I call you Dad now? Because she's going to want to drive a funny car. That's coming.
Well, not if I can help it. She's got too many irons in the fire. She needs to, throw some of those hobbies away if she's going to be a drag racer, because it's a full-time job,
Exactly. Well, I know that she said that she was going, and I'm like, okay, this should be pretty interesting for her to do that and see where it goes. I should do the same thing, but like you said, it's too many irons. I was going to go test in Bobby's monster, and didn't work out for me. So I'm like, you know what? I got to realize that maybe it ain't time yet. Maybe when I get about 70.
Yeah.
I'll have no.
The Holly School is they've got some good people working there, and they do a good job. But a lot of people have joined, took the class and driven the super comp cars or the super gas cars and stuff. I would. If you ever get a chance to, take a week off, and I would highly recommend that, whether you want to drag race or just get the experience to do it.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's something still I need to get out of the bucket list at least once. And I know we had Jeff Arend on a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about that. He's still instructing over there. And I think Jack Beckman pops in on occasion, too.
Yeah, Jeff does a good job, and so did Jack. But, it's one of those things that if you're a fan of drag racing and you can't afford it, I would definitely do that. That'd be in my bucket list.
Yeah, maybe one day you might want to go and open Bucky's driving school. Maybe you might want to still do something like that. You never know. I know you got a lot of irons going in the fire as well, but I know that you're spending probably more time now than ever at the shop building, huh? I've been retired here for a while, but I have a pretty sophisticated race shop, and we do a lot of fabrication and plus the engine work. And then my brother Walt at his Walt Austin Racing about 2 years ago got it's called a hub dyno from Australia, and it actually you just bring your car over, you take the rear tires off, and they bolt up right to the hubs, and you can actually make runs right there in the dyno. Wow.
And with the whole car. And actually, anybody getting started in the nitro class or the alcohol class, I would suggest that they do something like that, because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run.
And you guys pretty much are setting it up at your shop or at Walt's?
No, Walt's had it for a year.
Gotcha.
He's run numerous pro mods on it. Guys have been there from all over the country, and he's run a couple alcohol funny cars on it, and we've had a nitro car on it, and that's part of the reason for a couple guys' success is due to the dyno time. It actually, you just bring the car and you bolt it up and make your changes, and you can make runs all day long as long as you got the crew to R&R it, and it really saves you. You could spend a lot less money on that dyno, figuring out your combination than you can on the track. That's for sure. It's a lot cheaper, but it's just things like that I've been involved with, and I've been fortunate enough to have some good guys help us. So, I suggest that somebody does starting in our class that, that would be, if they do have the time and the crew, it would be well worth their time to put that thing on a dyno like my brother's, and get some testing, some runs in right there without going anyplace.
Right. So, Chris, did you just post up something on Bucky's stuff right there, so that way if anybody was interested in getting anything built up or racing?
Yeah, I have.
We definitely, while you're on the line, we definitely want to post up the.
Yes.
There you go, Bucky Austin Racing right there. If you guys are interested in getting your feet into drag racing on the big time stuff, get a hold of Bucky. He'll help you get the
phone number right there. Is that
exactly
that phone number's still good, right?
Right, 253-922, right, 523831. Okay. So we got
That's
you.
it.
Yeah, just making sure that anybody listening tonight who wants to get their feet into this or knows where you guys are and want to get some stuff done.
Just if anybody calls that number right now and they want to be on the radio, it probably won't happen.
No. Yeah, call right now. Where operators are standing by.
Yeah.
Just leave a number for Bucky or Dennis, and
right.
They'll get back to you.
You can
There
leave
you
a
go.
message about having Joe's baby.
No, they don't want. Dude, we had some caller calling in that for about a couple of shows wanting to have my baby.
Yeah, so if you get some weird messages on that phone message,
That might be my caller.
that's Joe's fault.
All right, you guys.
But
you guys stay out of trouble.
Yeah, well, we're going to see you on Tuesday. We'll be at the track Tuesday morning, I guess sometime whenever we crawl out of the bed, but we'll be on our way down.
All right.
You guys will be setting up, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be there probably by noon on Tuesday, 1 o'clock, and with the stage, and we've got a bigger stage for you.
Oh, beautiful. I told Travis make sure we got steps because we're old guys.
An elevator.
You forget, Buck. You got to have some steps.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling
All
that's
right.
Heidi calling right behind you right now, so
we go.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
All right.
All right. Hang on a
See
sec.
you
No. Hang on a sec. Let's see what we got on the phone. Who we got?
Hi, Joe. It's Heidi.
Hey, we got your pops on the other line right now, too. He was just ready to hang up because he knew you were calling. He's like, nope, I'm on. No racing for you.
Exactly.
That's probably a really good idea.
He told Travis to take you to Hawaii.
We'll see you guys.
I'll see you on Tuesday, Buck, and thank you so much for everything, and look forward to seeing your brother and the whole crew. And
all right.
It's going to be a blast, brother.
All right, you got it. Bye-bye.
Bucky Austin, ladies and gentlemen. Bucky Austin. You got to love it. You got the radio turned up in that car there.
We got to wait for the response.
You're going to have to turn that down, young lady.
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry.
So what part of the country are you in right now? Because you said you were driving.
I am just literally pulled into the Frank Holling Driving School at the Woodburn drag strip here.
That's Woodburn, Oregon. Oregon.
Yeah.
How cool is that? That should be fun. When do you start driving? Tomorrow?
Yeah, the school starts tomorrow. It's a 2-day school, 7:30 in the morning to about 4 o'clock. I think the first day is more of the class and learning all the car and how it works, parts and everything, and learning all the track and how the tree and everything, basically, you know, the really simple things of drag racing. And then you get to start in a car, and I think you go about 200 feet. If you do well, you get to make a second pass at about 600 feet, and if everything goes well, then you make your 1,000 feet track, drive, and hopefully I can get that done.
Yeah, we were talking to Pops about how it's going to happen. We asked him if you're going to go nitro driving. He said not if he can help it. He's going to talk you out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm about 31 years old now, and it took about 31 years to let me even go to the school. So, it definitely has been a fight to be able to get in a car, that's for sure.
Well, it should be fun. You're still steps ahead of me. I still wanted to go racing. I still haven't done it yet. I'm just too lazy, I think, now. I'm just becoming a radio star instead.
Well, there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
It worked for Howard Stern, but, I could be the blonde bombshell like Howard. Are you girls lesbians?
Oh, yeah, you're way cuter. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you very much. I want you girls to kiss each other now.
Oh.
Hey, it's like Howard Stern now.
It's like Howard Stern.
Oh, hey, I'm touching myself and you don't like it. Hey, that's what I do.
I love it.
I know. I took us completely off the board. We were serious about drag racing, and now we're just like touching ourselves.
Well, that was you. You were.
Chris, I don't know what the hell you're doing in the other room now. I mean, he's got another room all to himself, but we're going to have to change that.
Rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris seems like he's pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, because we're not in the same room anymore. I'm in the actual studio room. We changed it. We got a couch in here now, so people might want to come in and watch the show live and just go, hey, what's going on in there? Nothing.
Yeah, we have a VIP lounge area.
Let's not get too carried away. It's a couch.
It's a couch.
Anyway, we took everything down to sidetrack, and we're going to have to change the Heidi Austin backup girl, because I put backup girl, team, all-around team support, and now future top fuel driver. So we didn't put all that up there. So
no, I just put
we're gonna have to glorify.
girl.
We're going to have to glorify that for you for the next show.
Heidi, how do we find you?
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're on.
I said, well, let's make sure I can, don't pee myself when I get in the super comp. Let's just make sure I can get through this Holly school.
Let's be realistic. You're in the Austin family.
Right?
It's in their blood.
One step out of a time.
Yeah. One step, you'll break a record there, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, we got to put her in a fuel car.
Right, yeah. So how do we find you online? I've been trying to search, and there's a million Heidi Austin.
No, it's Travis Heidi. What's it? You got the hyphenated Austin Root, or is it Root Austin? Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, and then my Instagram, I think, is just Heidi Austin.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
So
I'm not a very good online. I'm a true farmer, so there's no computer here. Everything just goes off my phone.
I know. I see all the farm stuff. And the first times you came on the show, we were talking what it's like to maybe back up the car, do some crazy stuff. Now that I know a little bit more about the horses, the dogs, and even your pops just said it. It's like, she got the horses, she got the dogs. So what do you do with the horses? I mean, I see you doing some, like, are you English ride, or you cowgirl ride, or what's your style of riding?
I compete international show jumping. So right now I have a horse that I just bought a couple years ago as a 3-year-old, and he's growing up, and this should be my next FEI international show horse. That's what my husband and I have always done. My husband competed very well and has actually been 7th in the world internationally.
Wow.
And so we really enjoy doing the horses and jumping big jumps, and, you know, it's quite a big rush. So I'm kind of really curious to see what kind of rush it will be in a race car, you know. Definitely different, but, you know, you still got a bunch more horsepower right behind you.
Well, hopefully you keep yourself safe in there, and no harm comes to you in the interim of doing it, because I know that's going to be probably one of your dad's concerns, and probably after seeing what happened to our champ a week or so ago, you know, that puts a little more fear.
Oh, yeah, for
Bobby.
For sure. I mean, like, that was really scary for sure, and my dad has a really hard time. He won't even watch me jump the horses. I mean, once I'm on that horse, he definitely runs away. It's definitely something that he's definitely scared of. He doesn't like it. It's hard for him to watch it, but,
yeah, but you're his baby
it's something
girl.
I really enjoy.
Yeah, but it's daddy's baby girl, and, you know, he wants that to get good for you, you know?
I'll tell you what, he's probably the hardest one to take care of on that farm, you know? When's my dinner? Where's my food? Did you go grocery shopping? I need my Atkins bars. So I think when he gets nervous about me driving, I think he's afraid that I'm not going to have time to cook.
Ah, so you're doing all that on top of that? That's what yeah, okay, I got the picture now. So you're going to have to put.
The animals are easy on the farm. It's definitely the papa that takes all my time.
All right. So now that you're driving, you'll have to put some TV dinners on the back of the headers on the back, and they'll cook on the way out. There you go, pops. Just
right, exactly.
Just strap them to the headers or on top of the intake. You know, that way they cook on the way down the quarter mile. It's called Quarter Mile Meals with Heidi.com.
Right.
we're going to invent shit every week. I'm telling you. Your pops will love us. Go ahead.
I'm still waiting for my Joe Walla wig, so.
You don't need one. You already got the
blonder. I still haven't
blonder.
seen that.
We're looking at the picture.
Get the Walla wigs made.
I know. I'm looking at the picture that Damian Cottrell did for you. He sent me a note prior to sending that to you. He goes, I'd like to see the King sticker. And I go, I got to get one of them now. I'm going to have to buy one before I go to Seattle. Or have you sign it and send it back to me so that way I can put it on the wall now. Damien, I'll get one.
That'd be awesome.
Because, you know.
Yeah, Damien did an outstanding job on that painting. I mean, I couldn't even ask for anything better. It looks awesome, and it just brings so many great memories with that team. It's a great team, and they all work really hard, and it feels very special to be part of that team, that's for sure.
Well, it's gonna be fun. Is Travis riding with you? Is he driving? Is he going to drive the cars?
He is. He is. He's going to do the door car, so he's pretty excited about that, and I guess my dad told him at work today that he only wants to see 560s on our time slip, so we'll see if we can really make that happen.
Well, he's figuring if you're going to hit 560s, you'll be able to ride a funny car.
Right.
Or, you know, next thing, whatever, maybe a top.
So we'll see. You know, you never know. I mean, I don't want to get Bobby too stressed out because, you know, I don't want to have to compete against Bobby in the next couple of years. That would be a fun time.
Well, you can always go against Drew. Or
of course. I would love to go against my cousin. That's for sure.
Oh, there you go. That'll be a good jump in, and then go to Top Fuel from there.
Right?
I got your future plan for you. Just ask me. I'll be your manager.
It sounds good to me.
I'll tell Travis we'll do it as a teamwork. I'll get you both on a team somewhere.
I like the sound of that one.
Yeah, I'll have to use my influence. I'll just ask your dad. Can we get him on a team?
Look, exactly. I mean, you're my dad's little, you know, caretaker. He listens to you quite well.
Right. Right, famous lad. I mean, I know your brother's always saying I'm his service dog, but nah, I don't buy that one for a minute. Not when it comes to his daughter. But it should be fun. It should be fun for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you're going to have to tell me how it was when we get up to Spokane and let me know how cool it was. Because I'm thinking, I was talking to Jeff Rend a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about, he goes, you should do it. He goes, just go and drive the, what is it, the Super Comps. He goes, you get a weekend pass on it. You run the first day, and then the next day, if you want to run and do some competition with the class, you do a competition with the class all for the next day. So I go, that sounds like fun to me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited, and I definitely think, Joe, you're definitely going to have to take the time out and try this school, because everybody that I've heard done it and watching the YouTube videos and everything, everybody just says it's a fantastic school. It's great education, and I'm very pumped to do it. Should be a good time.
Yeah, we'll have to hit up Jeff and see who we can talk to over at the school and say, hey, we'll sponsor. We'll put you on the radio. Give us a pass for a weekend. I'll take Chris. And see if we
there
can
we go.
We'll run over stuff just for fun. But no, it's just I was hoping that you get on and chat a little bit about what you got going on and see what's doing with what you guys got in store for the party on this weekend coming up. For Spokane and Seattle. Anything exciting you guys got planned besides racing, hanging out with the Kings?
I think they have everything with the band you guys are playing and with the fireworks show, and the Elvis impersonator. I mean, and always Spokane and SR have great crowds. So I think it's just going to be just a fantastic time. Everybody's really excited to just go out there and do some drag racing.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. You guys, is Becky up there with you guys this trip, or is she staying down under?
I think she is down under in Australia right now.
Gotcha. Because I know that's where we first saw her in Seattle, so I wasn't sure if she's with the team on this run. So I wasn't sure.
We have another call.
Go ahead. I think it's Bobby.
And you're live.
Hi, you're live on Radio Buzz. Who do we got?
This is Bobby Cottrell.
What's up? We got the whole crew on pretty much. We got Miss Heidi on the other line with us. So what's going on, Bobo?
Not much. What are you guys up to?
We're harassing everybody that's working on the Bucky team tonight.
Really? Are you harassing Heidi, or is Heidi harassing you? I'm just kidding.
Hey.
Hopefully she can't hear that.
I haven't got up to Spokane, and I don't want to get beat up from Bucky. Okay, don't even start that. Sorry, Heidi. I'm trying to defend myself in your honor.
I like it.
Bobby, you're trying to get me killed. Thanks, buddy. I was Bucky's service dog. Now I'll just be his kicking dog.
His kicking dog.
There you go. You guys going to be up in Spokane? Or?
Oh, yeah. We're coming up. We're coming to Spokane, and we're going to Seattle, buddy.
Awesome. That'll be a good time.
Oh, yeah. So we're just harassing Miss Heidi right now about her racing thing that she's doing this weekend. So it should be pretty fun.
That's right. She's going to Frank Colley's, huh? That's cool. That's pretty sure she'll do just fine.
Any tips for her? Because she's still on the phone line with us.
She'll do fine. She knows what to do. She's seen it enough over the years, and I don't think you get, just watching her dad racing, she probably knows everything that it takes to get her license on one of those deals. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Thought on that, Heidi? Anything coming from the champ over there?
I don't know. I kick his ass at dancing, so maybe hopefully I can show him up in the race car.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Now it's on.
I just keep telling him he's just keeping my car seat warm in that funny car. I'm just warming up.
Yeah.
I could see. Me and Chris will step out right now for a beer break, and you guys can take the show on for this next 20 minutes.
Right. Well, I'll let you guys go. You guys, thank you for having me on the show.
No problem, Heidi. Good luck at Frank Hawley, and kick ass out there. And tell us the story, what's happening when we get back and see you next week. We're looking forward to hanging with you guys.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see all you guys up there. It will be an awesome time.
Oh, yeah. Tell Travis, I know he's listening. He's close by. So tell him I said thank you for putting the stage thing together. And tell him the old guys need a step up. So please.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're putting your stage in the horse trailer, and we're going up 2 days early to set it all up for you. So We'll definitely have it all ready for you.
We'll see you. We'll be there on Tuesday. So we'll be there Tuesday with you guys. So whatever help Travis needs, we'll be there to help.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. You guys have a good night, and thanks again for having me on your show.
You got it. Thanks for being part of the show, and you guys have a great time at Frank Hawley and kick a little ass. And I'll see you. Be safe.
All right, thank you. We'll do. Have a good one.
You got
Bye,
it.
Chris.
Have a good night, Heidi.
There you go, Heidi Austin,
All
ladies
right.
and gentlemen, and
Bye.
Travis Root.
Awesome.
And now we got the madman, the champ himself.
The man, the legend.
The way that Big Ben says it, the people's champ. So, what's going on, Bob?
Not much, man. Just back at the shop and trying to wind down from a hectic day. You know what I'm saying?
I know, and then you got us interviewing you two in a row. You got Darr the first day, and then us bugging you saying, "Come on the show."
Oh, that's cool. I enjoy talking to you guys and doing the whole deal. I'm getting excited for Spokane and getting excited for Seattle. On top of that, we got a back-to-back race, so it should be a good time, man. Hopefully we get back-to-back wins again.
Well, how do you think the car's running? You think it's still set up to kick ass as you guys have been pretty strong this season?
Yeah, we've been, there's been a couple of races where we had to kind of back it down just because either the conditions aren't there or obviously the track isn't there or whatever. But Bucky's done a real good job as far as tuning the car to run in the conditions. So hopefully we could just kind of do what we did in Arizona and Salt Lake City and just go from there, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think do you have UNFC after that? You only got, like 3 more races or 2 more races after that, and that's the championship that would be done, right?
Well, for as far as UNFC, we still got a mission for the NHRA and I think Boise, and then obviously the Hot Rod Reunion. So we got quite a few more races as far as, just racing-wise. But as far as I'm hoping to, hopefully we can pull both of them through. But, we got a lot of tough competitors in the class, and it seems like everybody keeps on getting closer and closer to when we're running. So, we just got to kind of buckle down and get our stuff together, and hopefully we come through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you will get it together because we were there for the first win last year, and I'm still stoked, dude. So, we were pretty proud of you winning the first time out there, and I know that you're no pressure, Bob, but you're going to win them both. No pressure.
All right. I hope so, man. I just can't thank, Bucky and the crew and everybody, enough. I can't tell you how we're just, it's kind of cool because, like I think I've said it a million times, sometimes I just kind of step back and watch everybody do their deal, and it's like a fine Swiss watch, man. Everybody just knows exactly what to do. They have a job, and they get it done as good as they can, and, we've had quite a bit of success in the past year and a half, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a lot of tough competition. I mean, I know you guys pretty good, so that's why I always harass you and say, yeah, you got to win this. But with all the other guys, and I love a lot of them guys, and it's definitely an open season when they get you got that number on your head there. So, but I'm sure they're going to be just as tough to. And Bill Donner said 17 cars are going to Seattle, so that's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. I actually like, when there's a lot of cars. A lot of people like running the lower numbers of cars because you don't have to go as many rounds. But I actually really enjoy running everybody in the class. It just, it's kind of corny, but that old saying that in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I take every round as serious as the next, and I try to learn from every round, and thank God it's worked out so far. So there's a lot of good guys in the class who are really, really competitive, and I think I honestly think some of the drivers in this class are some of the best in the nation. You know what I'm saying? So
oh yeah,
I really enjoy racing with them.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough teams there, and I know if Densham show up, those guys are always a tough competitor, and I know Jake Sanders and his crew, and of course the California Hustler crew. I mean, every one of those guys are tough. They can take anybody out at any time, so it's definitely going to be an interesting couple of days. But I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys and just seeing everybody again.
Yeah, me too. Especially the guys. The guys that you got to really, really watch out for is like the Chris Davises and the Jeff Monais and guys like that, because they Billy Morris is really, really stepping up. Those guys you can't take those guys lightly, man. Because as soon as you kind of get a little confidence, like, oh, I got this one covered, man, they go out there and kick your ass. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, Chris, I know Chris Davis. He's got a lot of secret stuff in the works, and I got to spend a little time with him, which I won't say much on it. But he was saying that car can do anything at any time whenever the conditions are right. But I'm sure that goes for everyone in that class. So if the conditions are right. I mean, like I said, I don't get super technical on how it rolls, but I know that you guys would definitely understand how that all places out at the end of the day when you only got the 8-car field. So that makes it tough in itself when you got 17 cars trying to make it into 8.
Yeah, absolutely. It just kind of tells you how competitive it is. Last year our first Spokane race, we. Obviously Bucky could go out there and make all kinds of horsepower. We could run 550s and stuff like that. But, the first Spokane was all about restraint. I think the winner, ran like 602 or 603. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it doesn't always take, a huge amount of horsepower. Sometimes it takes, like I tell a lot of people, sometimes less is more. And we've learned, we've had hard lessons in the past year and a half on, trying to restrain ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm saying as far as like, the cars that go out there and run 580s consistently and stuff. Sometimes those cars are the biggest, the hardest competition, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and anything can happen on those. There is no doubt about it, man. I figured.
Yep.
It should be good. It should be a good time, man. I saw your little adventure a couple of weeks ago. You want to talk about any of that, or you want to leave that one alone?
Yeah, it's all right. It's just it's part of drag racing. I've got a lot of messages and comments and stuff like that. I really appreciate the people that have sent me well wishes and stuff like that. I'm fine. I didn't get they took my blood pressure in the ambulance, and it was better than the guys that were checking me out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get rattled on that stuff, but. It was kind of heartbreaking, a lot of money in that car, a lot of time. I just wanted to kind of, if anything could come out of it, I just wanted to show my kids that, you just kind of, you can't dwell on things. You got to get up and move forward. You know what I'm saying? You can, obviously there's so many things in drag racing that go wrong, and only a few things that go right. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
It took a $22 piece of hose to break, and, it trashed, $50,000, you know what I'm saying? So
that kind of was what Chris Morrell did that one year at the March meet, I believe.
Absolutely. It could happen to anybody. I mean, it was, obviously unfortunate. It cost me a lot of money and all that stuff. But the positive note is all the safety equipment. I can't give, Big Dan at DJ Safety, I can't thank those guys enough, because all of the safety equipment did its job. I walked away. I didn't have a scratch on me. I didn't, I was a little sore. My Walla was really sore, but, I walked away with it without anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's a testament to all my safety gear. The car, how the car was built and everything else. I not a lot of people know, but the car flipped 3.5 times, and it actually hit the corner of the K-rod right on my roof.
Wow.
Up and for as bad as it was, it couldn't have went any better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just going to kind of rack it up as part of drag racing and more experience, and just kind of move on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Is the car salvageable to you, or is it just not at this point?
Honestly, Joe, we put the car in my garage in pieces, and I've been kind of disgusted over it. And I'm not going to. Honestly, I'm probably not going to touch it till after the season's done. I want to focus on Bucky's car,
right?
And, my son's junior dragster stuff, and that's all I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to have any more. I'm not going to get sidetracked anymore or anything like that. So I really, really want to win a championship in funny car, and that's where my heart is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that one. Because I know you like to be part of almost everything that you touch, and I can understand that because it's in your blood. So that's why I asked if the car was kind of salvageable, or is it worth your time?
It probably is. When the time comes, I'll probably pull it apart. I could probably front half it, but I'm kind of OCD when it comes to that stuff, so I'll probably front half it and sell it, which I won't let it come out of my shop without being 100%. But I'll build myself a a new chassis and stuff like that. But I got a lot of customer stuff in the shop right now. So honestly, it's kind of in the back burner. I want to get all my customers out and running and stuff. I got a couple chassis to build in my shop, so I want to get that stuff done, and then I'll start thinking about piecing another one together. But like I said, I'm kind of in a position with Bucky. It's kind of it's actually a dream come true. So I don't want anything else to get in front of that. So
Gotcha.
My stuff's gonna be on the back burner.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, you are racing for a championship with that car, and hey, God willing that you achieve the goal and continue to keep being successful with it, because I already got the vibe from just what you've done in the past. You've already got that. You're cool sailing, and you're on your way, man, and I just see good things happening for you. So we just figured that would be sidetracking on the funny car, so that's why I was asking. I didn't know, what your thought was.
Yeah. I'll always have my own car. I'm not the type that sits around. That's why I went out when I did. It's kind of my Father's Day gift to myself. I wanted to go out there with my kids and just have a relaxing, fun time. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of shows people that anything could happen anytime. And like I said before, for as bad as things went, or as bad as it was, they couldn't have went any better,
Right. I mean,
so
everything did what it's supposed to do to safety. That was the most important thing.
Yeah. But like I said before, I'm really excited to get back in a Bucky's car, and I can't thank him enough, obviously, for giving me that opportunity and stuff. I've done a lot of soul searching that way, so.
Right.
We're just going to kind of put stuff behind us and move forward. And honestly, if I had another car in Fontana, I would have jumped back in.
Oh, I know you probably would.
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I know you would have. I saw it. So I just wanted to say hi to the boys. I saw them in the junior dragster. So how they do? They look like they were already in the ready to take the place of Pops.
You know what? That was. I swear, my adrenaline was pumping harder when Tommy went down the track than when I was strapped in the funny car. Like, I didn't think I was going to have that much fun. But Tommy did very, very good. He's a very good listener. I had a couple of people come up at the track that kind of followed the junior drag racing deal and complimenting on his, his attention, just his attention overall,
right.
As far as how he drives his stuff. I couldn't be more proud of him. I mean, both him and Bobby, they're kind of a team out there, and also my little brother Peter was out there racing. So they just had a blast, man. Tommy got his license, and we're just going to kind of move forward.
Right. Well, that was cool. I mean, I
was
saw
out there were really accommodating.
Right. And I saw some of the stuff that you posted. I go, that was cool. I know you had to be glowing, man, when the kids are racing, because that's. It's like, dude, when we watched you race in Seattle and won that race, it's like I felt like I was a father at that moment with you, man. I was like, dude, he won it. I can't believe it. He won it. We're so proud of you, man.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling. We were stoked for you. So I had to figure that when your kid's running, you had to have that same feeling. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Yeah, you know what? I got to tell the quick story real quick. It was funny because, well, it wasn't funny, but after I crashed and stuff, I was joking around and trying to make light of the situation because everybody was freaking out, and obviously it was a pretty crazy ordeal. So I told Tommy, I told Tommy it's very important. Dad wants you to get back in the car. Just make one more pass. You already got your license. I just want to see you do it one more time. And he goes, okay, Daddy. So we got as far as we got him in the finishing range. I was about to get him suited up and stuff, and he kind of had a look on his face. And when you have kids, you know the looks on your kid's face.
Right.
And I was like, "What's wrong, baby? You okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, Daddy, I'm fine. I just want to get in and run." And I told him no. I told him I could tell there's something wrong with you. What's wrong with you? And he goes, "Daddy, can we just do this another day? He goes, I just want to spend time with you and make sure you're okay." And I was like, I swear.
That's cool.
What 6-year-old says that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that was a pretty
yeah, go ahead and pick it up.
moment,
Yeah, that's way cool. Hey, we got one more caller.
Yeah, so.
Hang on one sec. Let's see who we got on. Hey, who we got on?
This is Dar.
Hey, we got Mr. Dar Hawthorne with us. Big Dar Nitro.
Man, you got the Molly crew tonight, huh?
Oh yeah, I got I started with Joe Morrison, and I got Bill Donner. I had Bucky on. I feel like I stole your show from you, Dar, last night. I got all your crew from last night, basically, except for Joe Morrison.
Well, like Donnie and I say, we like doing show prep for your show.
And we bug Dave Kawakami in the Midwest all the time that, hey, who's on the show? It's the same guys that we had. So we all do the same thing. But you know what? I know that you're going up with Bobby and us and Bucky and the whole crew. So I thought it would nothing be cooler than having us all chat about the race coming up, man. But I was just talking to Bobby about how proud he was with his son racing, and anything you want to throw into that one, Dar, while we're chatting. We're all on together.
Hey,
so.
Bobby, long time, Bobby. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been like 27 minutes.
Were you guys just hanging out a few minutes ago?
No, I was picking up a rear end for a BMW that we're putting a Honda S2000 motor in, and my son Zach picked up a new rear end, and I wanted to have Bobby check it out before we put it in there. And so we're building some weird shit over at my son's shop, and Bobby's been helping a lot and helped get our Valiant sort of back on track. And now I got to finish wiring it, and then we got a altered wheelbase AFX 64 Chevy 2 that we're building, and Bobby's going to build the motor for it.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, Bobby, you want to take over my Lincoln and just take it for a while and build it up for me? Because I got nobody who wants to mess with it.
Hey, I'll take any project as long as you just drop off a check, a signed blank check. We're all good, buddy.
Yeah, they'll just PayPal you money as you need it.
That's what I tell everybody. It's all the money goes.
Hey, I'm serious. I need to have somebody fix my Lincoln, and it needs to be towed somewhere. So I don't know where to take it. And it needs a lot of love, man.
We could probably give you a little love, that's for sure.
All right, we'll talk about it when we're
Bobby,
in Spokane.
you'll have to add a wing onto your shop, Bobby. That's a big ass car.
Yeah, I know. That's for sure.
I want one of those diesel wings right on the back of the right off the roof. Not a Dodge Daytona wing. I just want the big diesel wing on the back. We'll put a blower
on. There you go. I think that's kind of a fad on Facebook right now. It's Priuses and wings. I think I've been tagged about 100 times in the past 2 weeks.
I see it. I see the Prius. I saw a DJ Safety Prius that they had and said, Bobby, check this one out. I've been seeing the posts. I didn't want to join in on that because next thing I know, I might be on one of them posts. Hey, Joe Walla, I got a wing on my Challenger, so you guys might be making fun of me because it's a 6-cylinder, and I don't want to get laughed out of the studio, which I will already. Chris is already.
Hey, well, I'm gonna walk into the restaurant and have dinner right now, guys. So I'm gonna let you go, and unfortunately, I appreciate you guys having me on, and
we'll see you in Spokane.
Everybody at Spokane and Seattle.
You got it, brother.
Tell Bobby I'll bring him some donuts tomorrow.
Yeah, that's Dar's nickname. It's Bad Influence Dar. He always sugars my kids up and then leaves.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Get them a lot of candy bars. Pixie sticks are always our favorites.
Yeah, I'm the evil uncle.
You know what? I'm going to leave this conversation like that. You guys can talk about that. Don't bring any more sugar, okay?
I'll bring non-sugar donuts.
Yeah, don't bring any to Spokane either, because I'm sure I'll be on a strict diet after tomorrow. I can't have root beer shots.
All right, guys. Well,
you got it.
You guys have a good night. I'm going to let you go.
Hey, thanks for taking some time out, Bobby. I know you've been running crazy, so thanks a lot. Say hello to the whole family, and have a safe trip to Spokane, man. We'll see you up there.
I appreciate it. You guys take it easy.
You got it.
Okay. Bye.
So what's happening, Dar? How are you, brother?
Just pretty good. I've been working my ass off. I'm enjoying it a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff for Aeromotive and doing our show and doing stuff for Bank Shift and popping over to a Chevrolet dealer where they got 100 F-body Camaros and Firebirds over the weekend and shooting that and doing a little story there. And it's you can actually make a living in this business if you play your cards right.
They said that about rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, the most I ever did with rock and roll was a stupid band called the
Kings.
What's the name of it?
The Kings.
No, it was like the Rotting Strawberries or something like that in high school, and I was the guy who got recruited because I had a station wagon, and I didn't play. I couldn't play a lick, but I could carry all the band's shit, you know.
Yeah, that didn't last long. I could tell. That's like, okay, I got the party and maybe meet some chicks, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I did that. I did one party, and it was, you know, and it was all guys. It's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, done and out of here. So what do you got going on our road trip? I know you said you were doing some work with Bucky and doing some stuff. So what do you got going on the whole trip here? Because I know you said you're going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, I still got to talk to Bucky tomorrow, but you know, right now I'm looking for sponsorship for next year, and you know, loving what Jim Mayer has done to set up the points fund for UNFC, paying a hell of a lot more than it does if you run the NHRA Heritage Series. And there's actually people, you know, driving the bus in the United Nitro funny cars, and in the Heritage Series, basically it's free-range chickens, you know.
Right. Well, I know they did a pretty good payout last year, so that's what I remember. Bucky said it was a great payout.
So it's, you know, it's like, you know, I try and help where I can, and you know, just you know, but you know, the main thing I do is, you know, I do a lot of display stuff for Aeromotive, and I'm a sales rep for them, and for Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and I've been working with a lot of local builders. You know, they're building between 5 and 20 cars a year for customers,
right.
And you know, it's really very cool to be able to go in these guys' shops and see what they're working on, see like trends and things like that. So you know, it's an awful lot of fun to do.
Yeah, especially with a lot of custom stuff, and I know that's a lot of the shows that you do is a lot of the custom cars, stuff like that. And I remember going up to Kenny's Hot Rod Shop in Boise, and he had some cool stuff in the works, and it's always cool to see stuff that they're projecting to come out in a couple of months or a year. You know, to be around it, you get the privilege to do it more than I do. So that's awesome, man.
Well, like there's a guy down here in Lomita who's been with Chris Braun, and he's building this absolutely incredible, I think it's 68 Chevelle with totally cantilevered independent rear suspension. I mean, just the trickiest stuff. But he's been working on it for, you know, 2 years, and it's like, Jesus, man. It is, every inch of it is absolutely perfect, and you see that kind of perfection. It's like looking at an awesome painting. You know, it's absolutely a work of art.
Yeah, you got to really know what from this ground up kind of work that these guys put into those. I mean, I see some of these cars and I see some of it, but you probably pick up way more of that than I do. I just see the car and it looks bitchin'. So a lot of the details that those guys have put into the undercarriages, the motors, and all that. I mean, you know what goes into that a lot more than me. I'm just a big fan of racing and cars and anything to do with it, you know, so I'm limited on my thought on that. But I know what they look like, and I know how they sound, and I know what they, you know, bitching how they are.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like, in between, I'm still fitting in. I got to wire a new Race Pack digital dash for our '69 Valiant that we're just about done with.
Right.
We got to switch over to a set of Willwood brakes on it, and you know, Bobby plumbed the whole thing, and now I got to finish wiring it. And I'm hoping that we'll have it done for the California Hot Rod Reunion and run either the Hot Rod class or something like that. And it's a 410 cubic inch Mopar small block and a '69 Valiant with a 4-speed, and you know, it's gonna be a fun car.
Should be. Who's driving, you or your son? Or are you taking
I'll
turns?
drive that one, and then Zach's going to drive the AFX car. It's the rear wheels have been moved forward 13 inches. The front wheels are moved forward 9 inches. It's going to be a kind of like Doug Thorley's Chevy Too Much car, and so it's going to be pretty tricky. We've had the car for about 15 years, and we used to race it in the old Good Guys drag racing series and with a big block, and now you know, we came back from running our Model A down at the Antique Drags, and my son said, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to cut up the Chevy 2 this week. What are you going to do? Oh, let's build that car we've always been talking about. Okay, let's do that. So I kind of scoped it out with Bobby, and we're going to run a alcohol-fed small block in it. High winder, 14-to-1 compression, and should be pretty fun deal. And our old buddy Mike Stewart's going to build a power glide for us, and it's fun building cars, man. It keeps you sane. I tell you, it really does.
You're like me, or buying more guitars. So one of the two, we get them going. Hi, Dar. You were just on the screen. I had you on the screen for a minute. They got the Nitro reports blowing up behind us. So we got to get,
okay, cool.
we got to get you guys over here one night. We got to. I got to give an open invitation to Donnie and you to come by and crash the studio one night and just come and kick things over and say, okay, you guys are done. We're pulling the plug. It's now Donnie's Rockin' and Rachin' Nitro reports. Dar and Donnie.
We should do it. We should do it over at Pinocchio's over in Burbank.
Yeah, we could do that too. Let's
have a couple of gigantic pizzas.
Exactly, I'm in. Let's. I leave it open to you guys, because like I said, who knew that this thing was going to get out of hand like it has? So you guys were inspirational to hey, we could probably do some fun stuff and just talk a little bit of fun and help promote drag racing like you guys do, and you guys take it a little more serious and we take it a lot more lighter, so that we kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, it's nice. We kind of deal with the issues of it, and and get into the personalities and really what it's like to race one of these suckers. And we got people like Ron Capps and some Del Worsham would come on the show periodically. It's like it's about the guy who's out there, running Sportsman Nitro or running a gas order. People like James Mayer with his SIFCA organization. It's like, nobody's going to pay attention to him, and at least we got a way of doing that. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying, the same thing, and trying to keep the history alive and get some of the guys who have done it and tell their stories. I think it's cool to hear their stories a little bit more and just kind of get what they got out of it. Like we had Larry Brown on, I think, about a week ago, and it was fun with him and Ross Howard talking about the car that they got and, just little pieces of history, what's happened. So, like I said.
One of the things we did last night on the show was, a tribute to the Mongoose, to Tom McEwen, and Donnie grew
up with them.
McEwen raised him from age 12 up. Every summer he'd head out on the road and hang with Donnie. I mean, Donnie and the Goose would, running funny cars across the United States. How cool is that for a guy who wasn't even a teenager yet? Learn how to do drag racing, learn how to build fuel motors.
I remember him telling me that a while back, and then some of the guys, like talking to Pat Galvin, like I didn't know Pat.
Yeah.
Pat worked for these guys either, It's like Dave Glass. I didn't even know Dave worked for Frank Bradley. So all these guys that we know, I met through all you guys, and I didn't know their history. You guys know their history like it's going out of style, but I had no clue, and it's fascinating to hear their stories. So I always enjoy talking to these guys about getting them on, just like you guys do your thing as well. So, anything that we can do to help each other, like I said, I'm always willing to pass any info that can help you guys and whatever you guys need.
Well, there's a big tribute to the Mongoose coming up on July 14th at the NHRA Museum. Yep. And if you're interested, call up the museum and get an RSVP in there, because I'm guessing it's going to be packed, and you're going to have to park down the street, and it's going to be
huge.
The kind of thing you've always wanted to be. You'll see a couple hundred legends there, and guys who, unfortunately they're all getting up in their 70s and 80s and 90s, and it's a sad time for the guys who were really pioneers in our sport.
And I agree with you 100%. And I remember we were chatting at the Roadster show for a minute, and we were kind of just chatting about notes, and I said I went to the Nitro revival, which I got what you said, because it's not really truly a drag racing event, but it is about the history of these guys, and to be able to just hear some of the stories, which that's a very important part of our history, and that's why I always want to open the door for anybody who's in that era to please, man, to get in touch with us and let's talk their stories, because if we don't tell the stories for them, there's not going to be much left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Chad Reynolds from Bankshift and I are going to be doing a couple of 80-year-old legend stories in the next couple of weeks of some people that we know. And in fact, I bumped into a friend of mine today, and he said, "Hey, man, you need to go see this guy, because he's maybe got a year left. So let's see if we can get him on tape and at least talk about,
history,
the way that he everybody's lives are intertwined here. It's like Snake and Mongoose and Dave Zuchel and all these guys that there's a wonderful story of Perdome and Keith Black, and they're all sitting at Keith Black's in the early '60s when they had the Greer Black and Perdome dragster, and Perdome would sit there and they'd go through drag news and they go, okay, what's Irwindale pay? Okay, what's Lions pay? Okay, what's Fontana pay?
Right.
Okay, let's go here, and then they call the track and say, okay, we're coming. And the tracks wouldn't tell them that Perdome was coming because the Greer Black and Perdome car had an incredible winning history, because all the other cars would leave. They go to the other tracks that Perdome wasn't at. And
that's a great piece of history. This share,
Yeah, it's like that car was a killer car for the time. So we don't have anything like that today. There's no, you got a Tony Schumacher that runs in streaks, or any or Force or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say John.
Streaks. But we're also here seeing it, so it becomes legendary when those guys are gone, or there's a long piece of history now, because most of that stuff in the '60s is almost 50 years ago.
True, and if you think 30 years ago, let's talk about Eddie Hill or Kenny Bernstein or Bruce Larson.
Yeah, right.
I mean, those guys, They were legendary, and they said Frank Bradley. There's a bunch of guys that came and went during those early '90s tone. That you're a funny car guy. Casey Spurlock, Laurie Johns.
That was the end of innovation in drag racing.
Right. And it just
you didn't know who was going to show up with what at a local drag strip. You didn't know if he's going to show up with 3 Magnetos. There was you never knew. Or in the early days, a Cadillac versus an Oldsmobile versus two twin-engine Chevy.
Right, and they were
there was a lot of innovation, a lot of trying, a lot of new things that nobody had any idea. There was no rule, there was no book to come out of, and that's the origins of the sport. And it's pretty cool that we still got a bunch of those people around that you can sit and it's like Tommy Ivo.
Yeah, how much time?
He has stories that you will not believe,
Right. Well, I know it's times just keep on flying by. That's why I figured it's time. But I talked to you one time about some cats that were seriously. They hit me up again about doing some serious documentary film. I know it's been done before, but they got a different take on something. So once they start seriously talking, I wanted to get you involved in some of that. Maybe it might be interesting to see if these guys are for reals. Might be able to share both of our history and what we've done with the sport, what we've contributed to whatever, helping anybody or doing whatever we do to help expand the sport and keep it alive. Like you said, get your ass out to a drag strip, right? Because they're going to be gone.
Get your dead ass out to a drag strip. Buy a ticket.
Exactly. But
there's too much good stuff still going on, and the events up at Spokane and Seattle with UNFC are sort of the direction that I hope drag racing goes, and I hope that NHRA wakes up with the Heritage Series and realize what they've got. And their biggest problem is that they're driving one of those big school buses, and the driver fell asleep at the wheel.
Right.
Nobody knows. I mean, I was talking with Bobby today, and I said they were talking, and I was talking on the Fox Sports 1 show, and it was Leah Pritchard's. Yeah, that's right. She came out of Junior Dragsters, and she won a championship driving for Steve Pluger. And I'm thinking, could you just say the Heritage Series? Could you just talk about your own series? Throw us a bone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a problem when you're running a series and nobody's driving the bus.
Well, whatever we can do to point it, and you can help us, and anything that we need to point in that direction, dude. We're always looking to help promote the sport, man. I'm doing the same thing that you guys do every week, and just trying to keep it alive with you, brother, because I believe that if we don't keep it pushing and keep the people out there, and it's the bad part, and I think we chatted briefly, our demographics are 45 and up.
Yeah.
The young guys aren't really listening. So when you get your Prius and that big wing like Bobby Cottrell's got on his Prius, then we can talk about drag racing again. But we need the youngsters.
Well, and fortunately, we got people like Bobby who've come into it, and Jeff Moniz. Some of the other drivers out there in Funny Car, and then you go to Top Fuel, and again, it's an older kind of crowd, but there are new guys coming in that that are taking the seats of the 70-year-olds who it was time to get out of the seat. You lose some some of your reaction ability.
Exactly.
At 250 miles an hour when you're getting that age.
Well, I mean, you guys had some people on last night. I caught the show on and off last night, and you had Drew Austin, you had Austin Prock on, and those guys are definitely going to be up and coming. And who knows where, we had Heidi on. She's down at Frank Hawley School. Who knows? She might be one of the next Top Fuel girls. You never know. I mean, if they want it bad enough, it's out there. So, appreciate.
The biggest problem is that we've got an amazing heritage series, and UNFC and other venues that you can drive and learn how to run Nitro. And it's not going to take you $3 million a year to buy, or your father owns 9 car dealerships in order to be able to get a competitive ride.
That's true, and I see what's that outlaw
there is
stuff.
A huge gulf between those two.
Yeah, what's that Funny Car Chaoses and those outlaw runs out there? I think Deborah Owsley was saying that they're going to run some sort of outlaw series, and that looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, that would be a cool thing to see. You see a nostalgia car against a Top Fuel car, and all the weird running, whatever they can do to kick your butt on.
Like I said, with when we were talking to Bucky last night on Nitro Reports, it's important, particularly for UNFC, to be running Heritage Series rules, so they're not making up their own rules. So that when you run Seattle and Spokane, and then you run Edmonton, and then you run Mission, and then you run Boise, it's all the same pump, it's all the same heads, it's all the same, basic configuration. So everything becomes cumulative, in that you're building on your tune-up.
That's a good point.
And I think that's an important part. So the Outlaw one is in Texas, in the Midwest. They don't have any series. IHRA is gone. The DRO series is gone. So what are you going to do? We've got. We're blessed with the weather out here on the West Coast, because you can run just about any time.
Right. I think that's what Kamikaze every time he calls us up and he hits us up from the Midwest is like, you guys got funny car drivers every corner. I go, well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, you're right. We do have the weather and we do have everything else going for us, so we are blessed with that.
Yeah, we got about 40, 45 funny cars.
Exactly.
Of the let's say heritage type funny cars, because I hate the word nostalgia.
Right. I got to use heritage. I'm used to saying nostalgia because I just love being around those cars in general now. But yes, heritage would be the better terminology. So I learned something from you tonight, buddy.
Yeah, as was explained to me by a guy in his 20s, is that nostalgia is what Grandpa did. That's not what these guys are doing.
Oh, you gotta love them. You gotta love them.
Yeah.
You gotta learn.
So I just kind of backed that out of my vocabulary. It's like, no, okay, fine, I get it. Call them heritage type. Everybody gets that right away.
Well, I learned something from you tonight, Dar. Heritage. Even though I knew it, I always say nostalgia cars because every time I go out there, it's just like completely different than the top, the big show stuff. So it's
yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, brother, to get us on, get you on and do a little chatting, because I know we're going to run around Spokane and Seattle. So I look forward to seeing you and hanging out with you a little bit, saying hello, and it should be an interesting traveling event, huh?
Should be a hell of a race too.
Oh, I expect that.
And good services up there. They're bringing in one of the track prep guys from Famoso Raceway. Jim is coming up to set up both tracks so that there's really good traction, and hopefully we'll see some, at least some 570s, maybe some 560s at Seattle, because that's the kind of track that can hold it.
Well, hopefully they got some good cars, man. I see a lot of on that list that you posted, so I'm looking forward to seeing all these guys run. I'm stoked to be there, man. Anytime to get away from work and go stand on a drag strip is cool for me, man.
That's it.
But
all right, buddy. Well,
all
I'll
right,
talk
brother.
with you later.
All right, Dar, thanks a lot. And like I said, the open invitation for you and Donnie to come and crash the studio one Wednesday. You guys are more than welcome to come on and be on the show and talk trash with us.
It's hard enough to get Donnie and me over to our North Hollywood studio,
All right, well, we got a pizza place across the street. We can go over there.
If you get a hotel deal.
Yeah, you're killing me. Yeah, we got a couch. We're not as cool. We're not as cool as the studio you guys are out of, but we're cool. We got a couch. We got 2 chairs. I got the chair I'm sitting on, and Chris has got a desk. So you and Donnie can fight over the couch or the chair, or the desk. Well, I love you, brother, and I know we'll see you in a few days, and so. Thanks for taking a few minutes and chatting with us, man. I always appreciate talking to you, brother, and tell Donnie I'll see you guys soon.
All right, buddy.
All right, Dar Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen, Nitro
All right,
Report.
take care.
Hey, I'm bringing the Nitro Report guitar to this show, so you get to see that one in action.
Nice.
All right, I'll bring some stickers up there, too.
All right, brother, I'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
All right. What a great show, man. I know
That
we
was
ran
a great show.
We've run a little longer than normal. We've been cutting down by 8:30, but we got something to say, we'll say it. So,
yeah.
We got maybe a couple. I'll take a phone call before we go home tonight, because this will be the last show we get in before we won't be back until the following week after the 4th of July. So,
oops, wrong spot.
Yeah, it's okay. You can put it on my head. Give us a call, 661-249-9444. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. And I'm going to head with the Kings all the way up to Spokane first. Spokane!
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll be in Seattle, and then I'll be back that Tuesday the following week.
Take pictures.
I'll be taking pictures.
Take lots of pictures.
Lots of pictures. Hi, honey. I see my girl's online, so I just thought I'd say hi.
She just now tuned in. She's like, are they done yet? Where the hell is he? Oh.
No. She's so usually Wednesday nights is like that's the only night she goes to do whatever she needs to do for her house.
So she's just checking to make sure that you're not home yet.
Oh, what a prick you are. Anyway, anybody want to give us a call and say goodnight, whatever. Thanks again to Joe Morrison, Right to Breathe, Bill Donner, super promoter for all these funny car things along the pathway. Bucky Austin, one of our sponsors.
Yes, Bucky Austin.
And Heidi Austin, Bobby Cottrell talking about his deal, and looking forward to seeing everybody. And, of course, Dar Hawthorne. I don't know why I can't say Hawthorne. Thank you. Hawthorne. It's a bad English I got.
Bad English.
From the Nitro Reports. And we look forward to talking to you guys and seeing what's happening. All right, last call for alcohol. What do you say?
All right.
Thanks to Bucky Austin Racing. Thanks to Nitro Mafia. Hey, we want to run a commercial while we're sitting here? I'll run one. Yeah. Let's run a couple of commercials, and anybody calls in, we'll put them on hold, and we'll talk.
Let's see if I can find them.
All right, we're still talking.
Yeah, I got to dig them up.
I got a few things coming up on our few shows coming up after I get back. I got Top Fuel motorcycle driver Tony Ruggiero going to be on. Hey, we got one. See, I talk about it, and we get called.
Fish is on the line.
Hi. You're on Radio Buzz.
Joe?
Yes?
I just want to say I enjoyed your show.
Oh, thank you very much.
If I go to Seattle, I have a question. If I go to Seattle, will you show me your Space Needle?
Yeah.
It's a tall needle, I can tell you that, but the key word in that was needle.
I see. Well, I knew Mr. Boner was on, and he said it was a star-studded show, and you said Chris Seaward was the star, so I guess you're the stud. At least you are in my eyes.
You just keep talking sexier every time, I'd say come on under, let's play a circus game and get under the big top right here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh! Joe, I wrote a poem for you. Would you like to hear it?
Sure, I'm sure everybody wants to hear it.
It goes like this. Roses are red, violets are blue. I want a baby, and I want it from you. And I love you, Joe.
I love you.
I'll see you in Seattle. I'll be in the shadows.
All right. Well, you behave yourself, and don't give yourself away until I get home, okay?
I love you.
Ciao, baby. I love it. I love it. I know we haven't had a call like that in a long time.
Right? That was awesome. You gotta love your secret admirer, the unknown. It even comes
the
in
one,
as an
the only,
unknown.
the unknown caller.
Unknown caller.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I want a baby just like you. Oh, hey. Hey, forget about it. Hey, we're in the Hallmark business. Yeah, right. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here. It's been a great show. We'll see you guys the week after 4th of July. I don't even know what the date is. Somebody can probably post that up. It's a Wednesday. What's my girl saying to me?
Awesome.
No, Chris. Whatever Chris said. All right. Anyway, we love you guys. Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks for always tuning in. Check it out on YouTube. It'll be right up on YouTube right after if you missed the show. Anybody who catches the last few minutes wants to
Yes,
see
and on Radio Buzz. Check it out.
Yes, Radio Buzz now has. So before we had all kinds of bugs with it. So I'm just going to tell you now. If you go to radiobuzz.com, you can watch the show with no problem.
No problems.
It streams right away. You can see it. And it's not like... I don't know what's happening with the phones, though. We do have some kind of cutout somewhere, so we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, we gotta.
Because I thought it was just something in the phone line where they call in, so I can hear it's coming through. Anyway, I see my BFF is. I got my buddy at work, Lou. He's always
BFF
like,
time.
Yeah, it's BFF time, and he's in North Korea now with Kim Jong-un, whatever the hell his name is.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing. He's probably working on world pieces or something like that.
Or
anyway,
pieces of the world.
Pieces of the world.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I tell him to call in, but no, I'm not going to let him do it. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here. Say
All
the
right.
final word, Joe.
Hey, Lou,
Say
I don't
it.
want to hear you say this tomorrow at work, okay? I won't be there, so it's good. Anyway, I got to go get my head checked tomorrow, so thank you guys so much. Rockin' and Racing. We'll see you right after the 4th of July weekend. God bless you all. Have a great 4th of July. Don't blow up anything that I wouldn't blow up. And don't drink and drive and text. Just text. Talk to you soon.
Yeah! Rockin' and Racing with Chris Seaward
that?
and Joe Walla.
Attention, drag
Loud
racing.
and
Listen
clear.
up. World Championship
let's
racer
get
Bucky
get
Austin,
some-
man behind
Rockin'
Bucky
and Racing,
Austin
see ya.
Racing, can put you in the race car of your dreams.
Hey, paisanos, you want an offer you can't refuse? Then you need the new Nitro Mafia Racing apparel. You can get it here at NitroMafiaRacing.com.
Attention, all you guitar players out there. Rusty's Cool Guitars. Rusty'sCoolGuitars.com is the place to be to check out some of the hottest guitars on the planet. You will find Stiff Printing, creating all your screen printing needs, hats to t-shirts and everything in between. They do it all, creating your vision with a full team of exceptional artists from start
Give Radio